And we're here.
And we're back.
Yes. Yes. Let me tell you, it's been a long day. Entertainment news abounds. You're listening to a show about shows.
Unfortunately, Liam Neeson was going to be here. I swear he was going to be in the Medea Affleck chair. But come on, we had to take him out, James.
Hey. Let's not talk about him. We'll talk about him later because we'll talk about him. But I don't want to talk. He's a dude that I love, and I just can't go through him. He's going through a hard time right now. Right now, if you haven't ever watched us, we're a show about shows. We talk movies, we talk music, we talk TV, we talk books, even though they're like kryptonite to my good old man Jordan over there.
You say that every week. How dare you? I have read at least several books in my lifetime. Okay, so
have you picked up? Well, how many were you not forced to read?
Did you
I've read a book. I'm starting to think about it because I was listening to actually Daniel Bryan's audiobook not too long ago.
There you go.
So I think I could get into that because I'm a big podcast guy, obviously.
You're an avid listener reader. That's how that works. And there's nothing wrong with it. If you don't have time to read, grab an audiobook. They're as good as the best thing. And you get to listen to these people just do all their little crazy voices.
As always, guys, this is JPO, Jordan Pierce Owens.
I am Dutch McAllister, and the monkey behind me, somewhere along the lines, his name is Ryan. What is it? Dizzle? I'm sure I'm still not getting it. What is it? Dizzle? The aviator himself of this program, who makes sure things run as smooth.
RD Bizzle.
There you go, RD Bizzle.
The podcast show about show for Show Bizzle.
So this week we're gonna jump it out. We're gonna jump it out with the Oscar talk.
Yeah, baby, Oscar's coming. I'm excited. Are we live streaming still?
I would like to live stream. I'm not sure where. Are you going to be in town, Mr. Bartanian? On the February 24th. On a Sunday.
I like how you always act like this is the first time we've talked about it. Every time.
Well, everyone.
Well,
Who, me or him?
both of you.
Both of you. I've been waiting for it.
I've been waiting. I might be in Tampa that morning because I'm a very busy guy, but I will be back for the Oscars.
Well, yeah.
You might have to drive me home.
Well, we'll do the pre-show. We'll do the pre-show without you.
I might miss some of the red carpet.
No, we don't do.
What are you wearing?
We don't do red carpet here, unfortunately. If you ever watch us,
that's the pre-show.
We do red carpet here.
Yeah, we're gonna roll. Yeah, there it is, right there on the cart. We're
okay.
gonna roll it right out. Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, okay, then we're awesome. Do we have any celebrities lined up for that night? I'm not sure.
Yes, we do. We have a mystery guest that's going to be sitting in the chair.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Way to build it up with something we probably can't deliver.
It's a mystery. It's
I'll
a
give you
mystery.
hint. It could be Gary Oldman or Francis McDermott.
Oh, it could be. See, you never
I got
know.
a feeling that's not true at all.
Well, anything for the ratings. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna.
It's gonna be a Gary old, man, just an older new Gary.
So
Francis
His
McDormand.
name is Gary. He's an old. No, he is an actor.
Hey, is he old?
And his name is
No.
and his nickname's Francis.
Yeah.
And he likes McDonald's, but comes close to McDormand.
Yeah, he's a McDonald's doorman delivery for Grubhubs. Yeah, that's how we're gonna find the wiggle room.
McDonald's doorman.
Yeah, absolutely.
McDoorman.
But so I did turn it on. I'm not sure you might want to check it. But what we're looking at though is we're going live. We're gonna do it live.
Yeah.
We're gonna dress up. We're gonna look fancy.
Well, this is now this is news to me.
But I thought we all agreed that since it's a star-studded event, we all should at least wear a jacket. I'm not saying you got to wear you can wear shorts. I'm just saying you got to wear a jacket. That's
I'm wearing my tuxedo T-shirt.
and I have myself a tuxedo jacket. I'll wear. It's nice and glittery.
Yes, yes. Okay, that's great. We're dressing up nice.
But our pants, we could wear shorts.
Okay.
You could wear your
But if you're
Bermudas.
shiny happy like these.
Absolutely, you're shiny.
Just to show that we're gender equality, I will wear a dress.
Well,
Nice.
Look real pretty.
Yeah,
Like
well.
was it South Park guys did that one year?
I don't watch that show. Never have.
No, they did it at the Oscars.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they were
Oh,
nominated
yes.
for best song maybe, and one of them did the J-Lo dress. I think the
Yes,
green dress.
I did remember
I
seeing
want
that.
to say
now.
that happened.
100%. So the Oscars, I'm putting this in right now. Oscars.
I already requested off work for it.
Yes.
Show about
The Oscars, the Rumble, Mania, my birthday. I ain't working.
I don't know. So is that a Monday or is it a Sunday?
Sunday, always
It's
a Sunday, man. Come on, know your Oscars history.
I try to avoid them most of
It's
the
like
time.
when my dad asks me every week, what day is Monday Night Raw? And I go, really?
Monday Night Raw is I think on Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I was in Dollar Tree about 2 weeks ago. Dee Dee loves this story. There's a big giant line behind me, and I asked the lady how much something was. The whole line goes, it sighs, and I go, oh, I guess everything's dollars.
Nah, see, the old dollar store trick.
Goes, no, some of this stuff is 88 cents in here. So I turn around, I go, see?
That is true. The candy bars sometimes are a little bit cheaper, and I think occasionally they will have like a clearance for like 50 cents.
I don't know much about that. I do go to there, but I don't. I just pay. I guess I pay full price at the old Dollar Tree. So
normally you would.
Any appearances for you, Mr. Owens, before we move on?
Oh yes, of course. Thanks to our sponsor RPW. Big thanks to the big crowd that we got at our debut show of 2019, debut at the Millennial Brewing Company. James, you were there. It was a great night. It was packed. We appreciate it. We hope you come back. March the 10th. It's a Sunday. We'll be back at the Millennial Brewing Company. We'll be at Riverside Community Center in Fort Myers on March the 5th, and March the 23rd we're in Ave Maria. So big March month for RPW, our sponsors. Come out to any of those shows, or be a cool guy. Come out to all of them.
And unfortunately, you did not get 1 ounce of camera time, and I apologize for that.
Well, they saw your face about how you were excited about RPW.
So. Well, I was too busy reading at that time, so you know.
Now I look excited.
Now you look excited.
RPW, yeah. Oh my God, big month of March.
Okay, that's enough. Let's move on. Let's move on to what we need. Thank you to our sponsor again. But let's go with the Oscars.
Yes, sir.
Oscars coming up February 24th, 8 Eastern, 5 p.m.
Going all the way to 4 a.m. like normal, right?
Yeah, you know, you got to settle in for that 8-hour junket. But so we're going to go over the films. We're going to go over the nominees, and we're going to give our opinion on all. And I can't wait because
let's talk some snubs.
All of us have actually seen most of these, if not all of these.
I got a few I got to catch up on.
But what I'm saying is, generally, we're pretty knowledgeable for the first time in a long time.
Not too bad. For guys that actually aren't critics yet, or ever will be.
I'm always a critic.
Not too bad.
I'm always criticizing you.
Well, I mean, like real Rotten Tomatoes. That's what I want to do. Get on the tomato meter.
Tomatoes.
You may have to get your mic a little bit.
That's a fix.
Say last
I heard you just say a fist.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Hey, now.
I got a fist. Say fist.
Hey.
Right here. Fist.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so your mic is live. You're doing well.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, you try it again. I just want to see it just for test.
Testing 1 2. Check the mic 1 2.
There you go, boss man. So the first one, what do you want to go through first? You just want to go on the list of actor and the leading role first, and then we just go down the.
I mean, you want to start off with the Big Daddy? You want to go smaller and work our way to the big?
Well, we got a list right here.
Let's do some supporting. Let's do that way because that's usually what they give out first, right?
Yeah. It's usually the better part of the night. I like the first award because it does set the tone of how the evening is going to go. So
and this one, I believe, actually no, you've seen the majority of these, but talk about actress in supporting role, James.
Actresses in a supporting role, yes. We got Amy Adams in Vice. We got Marina del Tavira for Roma.
Tavira
for Roma.
I'm just playing, I don't know.
It's close enough. Regina King in If Beale Street Could Talk. Emma Stone in The Favorite. And Rachel Weisz as well in The Favorite. The only movie I did not see in this whole...
Male?
I thought we were going to just go for female first, and then we were going to do male. But you want to do
male?
No, I
said Bale, as in Bale Street.
Oh, yes. Beale. It's Beale Street. It's Beale Street. Yeah, it's not Bale Street.
Oops.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the other movie with Christian Bale Street, where he's like, la-di-da, you ruined my camera angle. That's it.
Yeah,
if Bale Street could talk.
Yeah. That's Terminator Salvation.
Yeah.
Where he melts down there.
T4, baby.
But he, but out of all of them though, I haven't seen If Beale Street Could Talk with Regina King, who I love. I love Regina King and anything she's ever done. Unfortunately, I just never got around to watching this movie. But I'll tell you, Amy Adams portrays Lynn, I believe, Lynn Cheney in Vice. She did a great job alongside, Christian Bale, who's also nominated. We'll get more into that in a minute.
Talk about Roma. I know you love Roma.
Roma is one of those movies where probably a stick in the eye is more entertaining. But Marina del Tavira, I'm not sure which one she was.
Do you think it's warranted? Oh, so you don't even remember who she was?
I can't even remember who she was. And I even looked up a picture and I was like, was she in it? Because it doesn't look familiar.
So no one in your mind was totally like...
There was no real acting in that movie. Unless, to me, not acting is the same as acting. which I think
some would argue it is.
And you know, maybe it was so good. The acting is so good that it looked like a home movie. You know what I'm just saying? It looked that good that they just played
Someone said that. Someone, I think, actually literally said like it's like home movies.
And it's just the longest home movie that I've ever seen. Also, Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz, both fabulous jobs. It would be too difficult to choose one over the other for the favorite.
But I'm going to make you, of the four you've seen, who do you give it to personally? If this was up to you,
if it was,
who do you think will win? Who do you want, and who do you think?
I think it's going to go toward one that I haven't seen. I'm hoping it's going to go to Regina King. That's who I hope it goes to. Who I believe it'll go to, I'm going to go with Emma Stone. I think she put in a great performance. Like I said, no fault to Marina. Marania or whatever her name is. I just don't remember her performance at all. So to me, it was just a pick because it's a hot pick and we all know the Academy loves hot picks. You know, not sexy picks, but political action picks. And that's basically what I think this one kind of helped out and drummed it up.
Yeah, I've only unfortunately seen one of the fifth. I was actually with you two. We also had Vice a couple of weeks ago. Amy Adams is great. No surprise, Amy Adams usually does deliver. That's why I think, in a way, she's kind of the long shot here, actually, because I kind of feel like it's going to be a little overlooked, and maybe even rightfully so by these other performances. So I think it's really anyone's game here, man. The fact that The Favorite has 2 nominees in one category is always a sign that like they've really enjoyed the work here. So this one's going to be kind of a tough one, actually, man. I look forward to seeing who walks away with that statuette.
And Ryan, what do you think? Because you watched Vice with us. You saw Amy Adams at least. Right. Is there anyone that you think that might just stick out on your board? You know that's out there. You know, in the supporting actress role.
I like Amy Adams. I still have to watch The Favorite, so
yeah, absolutely.
Before then, let me watch that one.
Okay, before we stick you all to a stick pick, are we? But who do you think will get the award though? If you were to pick one today?
Oh man, it is tough to say. I'm gonna say King might get the love, man. I mean, it's funny because this is the follow-up to Moonlight from the same director, Barry Jenkins, I believe.
Correct.
So it didn't get love for like Best Picture. But I think maybe they'll give it to King for it because, like I said, I think it's gonna be a tight one. I think Stone's had her moment. And maybe that's why I'm always a big fan of seeing like spread the love kind of thing. Like I didn't care about the Super Bowl, but I wanted the Rams to win just simply because I wanted someone else to get the love. So I'm gonna go with Regina King, man. You know, Stone's had her moment. But even Rachel Weisz, I don't think can get overlooked. And as you said before, neither can the Roma Girl because some people really love that Roma. Although I think as the weeks go by, it's one of those movies where up front everyone's like, "Oh my God, that's so beautiful." But I'm starting to see more and more reviews that are like yours going, I don't see it. I'm not in that club, man.
But unfortunately, it just won a director's picture, for best director at one of the director thoughts.
Well, and again, I think artistically it's hard to fight. That's why that makes more sense than I think maybe the performances. I don't see Marina winning it.
Well, we'll see more at the Independent Film Channel Awards or the Sundance Awards. You know those the ones that they give out.
Has that happened yet? No, that's
they
before.
They give out they might before.
Okay.
So we'll have a little foreshadowing when that happens. But again,
I'll watch that.
My heart's with Regina, but I have to go with Emma. So we're gonna go with that.
Who's hosting IFC? Do you know?
I know, not this year.
Last year was John Mulaney and Nick Kroll.
Which was who I would have loved to seen this year hosting, but it's now just potluck.
We got actor in a supporting role. The nominees are Mahershala Ali for Green Book, Adam Driver for BlacKkKlansman, Sam Elliott for A Star Is Born, Richard E. Grant, Can You Ever Forgive Me, and Sam Rockwell of Vice. I've seen a couple of these. I've seen 3/5 of these. Driver, Elliott, and Rockwell. I do kind of agree. I think Rockwell's the long shot here. I think he kind of is one of those guys that's because he rocked it in 3 Billboards, and it's just a continually good performer that he kind of squeezed his way into this. I also will argue that I think Sam Elliott isn't exactly breaking new ground with this, so I think he's a long shot in my mind. And I was surprised Driver got nominated and not John Washington, who I kind of thought is kind of more of a two-hander, and I thought he's as good as Driver. So I got to give it to Ali or Grant. I'm probably go with Ali here.
I don't see how you're far off because I enjoy Green Book. Ali put in a fabulous performance, unbelievable turn. He just continues to build the his acting chops. Every single time I see him, I'm more and more impressed. So I'm hoping he doesn't do a Snow Dogs before you know it.
No dogs too.
But you don't want
Back to the forest.
You just don't want to see that happen. But I'm thinking he's more select and he does what he does, and he's a very good, just a great.
Until that
actor.
money comes for Rock Dog 2.
Yeah, to Rock Dog 2. Jesus, I would hope not, but you never know.
Did you see that first one?
I never got around to it.
Okay, I know that was
rubbing it in, rubbing the salt in the old wound because I didn't get to see it.
Buy 4, get them all on digital, and you really wanted to see Rock Dog.
Yeah, and I did see the Shack for that. Anyway,
The Shack.
but Sam Rockwell did a great job as G.W. Bush.
I kind of wanted to mind Carell. I thought he was kind of a little more fun in that movie and like a
and
supporting
he was
role.
he was more in it than say Sam Rockwell. But again, like you said, former usually get nominated for the year
I think
after.
Carell's done some really good stuff in the past too, man. Little Miss Sunshine and whatnot, but maybe because Rockwell's just more on the mind.
Yeah,
right now.
and that's and I'm Driver. I didn't see the Black Klansman. That's the only movie
recommend it.
that I have not seen in the that I haven't seen. But Sam Elliott. I'm going to go with Sam Elliott. I think Sam Elliott is a great actor. I've always loved Sam Elliott movies. I can't help it. There's something about him. There's the gravitas of his voice, the gravel, just the gravel.
See, I might be a late bloomer because I don't really have any connection to Sam Elliott other than like the recent years. So I'm like, oh, he's a good like side actor.
Yeah, watch the movie Hero. If you want to watch a good movie, watch Hero.
Yeah, you told me that. But that's more recent too. I'm just saying I didn't really
that was
grow
last
up
year or so.
knowing Sam Elliott.
Oh, well, Sam Elliott's always been around. If you want to watch anything good, like watch the Sacketts, watch some other great westerns, because that's where he really got the cut of his jib. And there's other movies as well. Fatal Beauty, if you want to watch a Whoopi Goldberg and him, he's in that one, I believe. So, Sam
I do
Elliott
love Whoopi.
has been around for years, and I think they're finally going to recognize him.
I prefer
think that.
Bradley Cooper as Sam Elliott as.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Sam Elliott. You're gonna go with Ali, right? Or
Yeah, Marshall.
I haven't seen Black Klansman yet, but I'll go with Sam Elliott. I haven't seen Green Book either. But these movies,
Black Klansman's currently out on disc and digital, so it's very easy to check out.
Yeah, and I will.
I will see all of these by the time we've got 2 more weeks here.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And like I said, if you haven't, like Black Klansman, I will be watching that shortly. It's just on the list. It's just I got to get through the other parts of the list first.
Yeah, you're too busy watching
Where are
The
you gonna
Shack.
watch it at?
I just watch it at home. Just because I enjoy watching a lot of VOD. Movies such as
How much do you spend a month? You think watching movies about
too much. Probably
over
what
$100?
at least about 70, 80. Yeah. So you got to put a budget aside to watch movies. Hopefully this is. We'll get them for free one day. That's how you got to look at it. Oh, one day we'll get it for free. But no, for my pick though, I will go with Sam. You're gonna go with Sam. You're gonna go with Ali. What's the next category you got for me, Jay?
You want to talk foreign language film?
I have no clue, my friend.
Capernaum, Cold War, Never Look Away, Roma, and Shoplifters. Now, just by default, isn't Roma gonna win?
No, no. You know what?
If it's nominated for Best Overall Picture, how can it not win like a subset of Best Foreign? Because if let's say Capernaum wins, then why wasn't Capernaum nominated for Best Picture?
It's a very good thought. I don't know. I don't know how. If you're going to be Best Picture, how can you then be put in Best Foreign Picture?
Yeah.
It's like Best Animated Film, and then you're put in Best Picture Film. Why do you have a Best Animated category if you're not going to, if you're going to put them in the Best Picture? And that has happened in the past.
Well, that also too. Again, then I would say, well, then it's obvious. Finding Nemo will win if it's in the Best Picture category and in the Best Animated. I would say the same thing then.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go with this though because I'm gonna shock the world. I haven't seen any of these except for Roma, and I'm gonna go with Shoplifters. I've heard a lot of buzz about Shoplifters. I have no clue what it's about, but I've heard a lot about it. I'm gonna go with Shoplifters.
I'm gonna go with Cold War on the same theory as yours. I haven't seen it or not a hell of a whole lot, but I think it's during Hitler's reign. So
No, the Cold War would be about Russia.
Oh man, let's edit that out. I'm dumb.
Oh, I think that should be around Russia. But
I've heard good things about that. So
yeah, and if you want to see Shoplifter, you can still see it in theaters. There's a place to actually go see it, which is
I
weird.
plan on
probably not watching
doing
it.
that.
Yeah. Who do you got in there? We're just picking blind straws.
With Roma.
You're gonna go with Roy.
Well, I'll stick away from that since.
I have. What did I say? Cold War.
You have Cold War.
Cold War.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do Never Look Away.
Oh, look at that. So we're all staying away from the Oscar favorite.
We're all just shooting blind here.
So we're gonna go next to the documentary feature. You know, this one has Free Solo, Hide. What is that? Hail Country. This what the hell is that saying? Hail Country this morning, this evening.
Mine says Hill County.
Did you get your new glasses?
County?
Are those your new glasses?
No, that's the worst part. I haven't got my new glasses yet. We'll get them. Actually, you know what? The new glass prescription is fantastic. So once I get there, it'll be fabulous. So that's Hale County, right? Yeah, Hale County this morning, this evening.
Thank God you weren't the host of the announcements earlier this month.
Well, you know what?
And the nominees are.
And the winner
What the hell
is.
does it say?
And the winner is La La Land. Oh, okay. That's basically how I would have done
Yeah.
it. But no, Minding the Gap, The Fathers and Sons, and RBG. I've only seen one. I've seen RBG.
Ruth Bader?
Ruth Bader Ginsburg
Let's ask you what's
documentary.
that
How did
about.
you like that?
I enjoyed it. It's like an hour and a half, close to 2 hours long. But it's to me it brought a lot of insight about what she has done over the years, and I didn't realize. You know, I thought everyone thinks that everyone who's been on the Supreme Court's been there for moons and moons and moons. Yeah, she's been there since 93 or something like that, 93, 94. And or 96, I can't remember. But what I'm saying is she hasn't been on there as long as most people thought she was on there. Some people think she's been on there for like over 50 years,
Since 1962.
But she has only been on there for at least 30 years, which is a long time. But to me, she's done more in her own time. If you ever watch the movie On the Basis of Sex, you'll find a little bit more of a spotlight on her, and one little thing that she did. But she's fought for a lot of equality rights for women, and and men have actually benefited from these same type of judgments, that were kind of reverse sexism as well, and. I find her fascinating. Women who are just some women that I've actually come across, and I've talked to people about this, where they completely don't like her. Oh, she's one of those liberal judges. But you know what though? If you always go by your politics, you'll never understand anybody. But this one brings out complete and utter access to a beautiful woman, and I loved it. And I'm gonna go with that one because I've seen it. And
Have you heard anything about these other movies?
I've heard Free Solo.
Yeah, I've heard that's my pick.
And it looks beautiful.
That's my pick is Free Solo because that seems to be the one kind of making the most noise.
Yeah, and that's about basically free climbing.
It's not about Han?
No, it's not. It's not about Han. It's,
I'm not interested.
Well, yeah, but it's about free climbing and mountains basically.
60 Minutes. I think they featured him a few years ago, didn't they?
I believe they did. Yes, but yeah, it's amazing, really.
I know, I'm Barbara Walters.
Some of those. That's not.
I'm Barbara Walters.
Yeah, that's on 2020.
Oh wow, man, I'm just wrong.
Man,
all over the place here.
talk about me. I don't know names, but I can tell you where you're going wrong with most other things.
Can we go back? If I
Yeah.
just put my name in over the next week or two, and let me fill in. Let me keep me out of that one because I love docs, and I'm going to definitely watch all of these.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
You'll be the doc guy because I'm not the doc guy. Okay. Although when we get to snubs, I'm going to very passionately talk about some snubs in the doc. So we'll get to that soon.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do an original song here. The nominees are All the Stars for Black Panther, I'll Fight for RBG that we just heard about, Shallow from A Star Is Born, The Place Where Lost Things Go from Mary Poppins Returns, and When a Cowboy Trades His Spurs for Wings, the ballad of Buster Scruggs.
My kids would take the ballad for Buster Scruggs. They loved that movie.
Do they love that movie? Do they love that first scene of that song?
They love that. Oh, they love that. Well, they like the characters in the movie.
Okay.
They liked him at the beginning. They're glued to that first 15 minutes. Of that
That's
movie.
what I'm trying to ask. Like, because I'm very similar. I thought it was that first. I like the first one. Franco's all right. Like, there's some I like more than others, and I've actually gone back and just watched that first segment a couple times because I really like Tim Blake Nelson and this song, and so that's kind of what I was asking. Like that first 10, 15 minutes, I like that segment. I like the song, so I definitely agree with the song being nominated.
If the Spider-Verse song was in there, the Post Malone singing for this year, I might choose
I would choose it easily. Yes,
song,
it is a
man.
great
I think
song.
that's been mentioned as a snub. That's a good one.
And that is a snub. And but what's here? I'm gonna go with Shallow.
That's what I'm going with. That's why I was starting off with Scruggs, but I got to go with Shallow. I've actually listened to the entire album on Spotify, so big credit to the people that did that album for Star Is Born. It's a really like good album. Like even when you're watching the movie, you're kind of like, oh, I might listen to this song later. Which doesn't always work out well in movies. Sometimes you can tell like they're just trying to come up with something that sounds like would be a real song. But damn well, it's a good song. Obviously, sung by a real singer, and yeah, that I think probably will and should win.
Absolutely.
I'll do contrarian. I'll take when a Cowboy trades the Spurs for wings.
It's possible.
Just for contrarian.
No, for sure.
Well, you enjoyed it, and two, your children enjoyed it. So you got to pick at it. You can't just because you're trying to get in the mind of the Academy. You'll never get in the minds of them because there's a lot of people who.
And voting's always weird too. You never know if there's that word contingency of there's a subset of people that just you never can predict voting in any way.
Yeah. Look
at our president.
Why?
Political.
Look at him. You're bringing in the politics. No, we only did one political.
It's a movie joke because he was in Home Alone 2.
Was he? I don't. I know. Was he?
You guys
I never watched that movie.
Do you want to rate that his speech last night?
No.
There was a speech last night.
See, he doesn't watch anything like that. I just do follow-ups.
Last night was SmackDown. That's what I'm watching.
With the new hemp belt. What we're gonna do?
Love it, by the way. I know. Different podcast.
We're gonna keep on the same deal though. We're gonna go with original score. The nominees for original score are Black Panther, Black Klansman, If Beale Street Can Talk, Isle of Dogs, and Mary Poppins Returns.
Okay.
So, I like I said, I've only seen 1, 2, 3. I've seen Isle of Dogs, Mary Poppins, and Black Panther.
How did you like Isle of Dogs?
I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. It's another underrated film. It's a Wes Anderson.
I don't know if it's underrated. I mean, it's nominated for Best Animated. We'll talk about here in a minute.
I know, but to me, it's just not a lot of people have seen it. Those who have seen it, it's a very enjoyable film.
I'm about halfway through because it is on demand right now, so I will see it because it's on the animated list.
Yeah, and I got to tell you though, it's Wes Anderson. Again, his stop, motion capture is fantastic. The one that he did with Clooney, if you remember that movie,
Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Yes, Fantastic Mr. Fox made me laugh like nobody's business.
Which is another one for some reason like I didn't see right away. It's one that I saw like on Blu-ray like a year or two later.
Yeah, I saw that in the theater, which was something.
You're the guy.
I don't watch Isle of Dogs. I saw that on VOD. I didn't see it anywhere else. But I'm gonna go with Isle of Dogs.
Me too.
Because I love the music that accompanies
it. I just want to be contrarian and say Black Panther just because I just want to disagree.
Okay, there you go.
We mentioned it a second ago. Animated feature. You got Incredibles 2, Isle of Dogs, Mirai, Ralph Breaks the Internet, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I've seen 3.5 of these. I gotta get through Isle still. I've seen Incredibles, Ralph, and Spider-Man. All worthy of a nomination. I haven't seen Mirai. I actually don't even really know what that's about.
I will look that up because I have no idea who that is.
There's always that one kind of cartoon, probably from another country, that sneaks in. So credit to them. I might check it out.
Okay, animated feature. Okay.
Yeah, animated feature. This one's kind of tough for me. I really liked Incredible. I mean, like I said, everything I think deserves a nomination. I gotta go with my heart and say should and will is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. A different kind of animation. Not everyone loves it. I think a lot of people do, and I dug it as well. So this was a movie that just really had me talking. One thing about Ralph and Incredibles, well, they're great, well-made films. I don't know if they totally steered too far away from the first movie, so they are just kind of like just really good follow-up sequels. This one I just thought was really cool, unique. We got Miles Morales, some good humor, some good heart. And yeah, this movie really kind of like it had me talking and still thinking about it for a while, longer than the other two did.
I'm gonna think like the Oscars, well, maybe not on here. I haven't seen it, and I've seen Isle of Dogs, but since they got snubbed on the original song, I'm gonna give it to them on the animated feature. So I'm with you on that because I love the video too. Yeah, the Post Malone and all that. So then it does look cool. I do like that animation. Something warm and cozy about that film. Brings out emotion just even watching the video. So I'm with you on that.
Okay, I'm gonna just breaking news. It's a Japanese film, a Japanese animated film, Mariah, or whatever you want to call it. Well, no, I'm just looking at it right here. It's so it's a Japanese animated film that is well-renowned director, done by Marumo Hosoda. Anywho, Incredibles 2,
Is he
Isle of Dogs.
the famous guy?
Yeah, he's from Summer Wars and Wolf Children.
I don't know.
He directed those. But Isle of Dogs, Incredible 2, I like both of those. Incredibles 2 was not as good though as the first one.
I kind of say it was
Ralph
pretty
Breaks
close.
the Internet. It broke me when I watched it. It was just that. It was like, dear God, it's just keeps going on and on. I'm gonna go with you guys.
Wait, you think it broke you in a bad way?
Oh, it broke me in a bad way. I didn't find that movie amusing. I didn't find it. There was only one time that I actually laughed in it, and it was during the princess scene, in which they all are basically.
I don't think we've ever talked about this. I had no idea for your disdain.
Yeah, I never liked it. I did not like it. I haven't liked it. So
I'm that guy.
you're that guy, but that's all right. But no, I personally did not. Like it at all. Spider-Man, though, I'm going to team up with you three.
Oh, is
we're one more away from a Fantastic Four right here, but and that would just ruin the whole thing probably. But we're going to go with the three. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, my favorite movie of the year, made my top 6. It was just that close out of the top 5 this year. That close.
Oh, we all got it here.
So let's go with where else are we gonna go next?
You guys, what about costume? You guys don't like costume?
You like costume. You've been looking at costume. Let's get into costume. Come on, do the costume with us. You announce it. You do it.
I haven't seen a couple of them, but I did like the Ballad of Buster Scruggs and Black Panther. But probably Buster Scruggs. Let's go with that for me. That opening scene and those outfits, and the fact that my kids were hooked on them, and they brought me back to that one. What's that movie? What's that movie?
Your mic. I was just.
Oh,
Yeah. Point your mic towards you. Put your mic towards you. Remember what they say? A fistful of mic. That's what they say. A fistful of mic.
Fistful of mic.
There you go.
All right, I'll keep it close.
Okay.
So I am going with the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Okay. Well, I've seen all these movies. Mary Queen of Skies, Mary Poppins, The Favorite, Black Panther, and Ballad of Buster. I did like the bedazzlement of Buster Scruggs. I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to go with Mary Queen of Scots. They just had beautiful costumes all the way through.
How did you like the movie?
I enjoyed it. A lot of people didn't like it. It wasn't that
Margot Robbie?
Yeah, Margot Robbie and Saoirse Ronan. Fantastic crowd. Enjoyed it, and I just can't wait to. I don't know. I just think it was a very underloved film of the year. It was very underloved. So, but let's see here. Who do you got, my good man?
I'll go with you for Scots. I think it's been a pretty common thing in the Oscars that they love those just kind of back century flowy dresses, and like they kind of seem to like that. So for someone that doesn't really have too much of an eye for that, I gotta go with that.
Okay.
They do. They go with those.
Yeah, like Marie Antoinette one, and I don't even really like Marie Antoinette, but like you can't deny it from like a costume standpoint.
Absolutely. So we're gonna move over to Best Adapted Screenplay.
Oh yeah,
and those are The Ballad of Buster Scruggs, The Black Klansman, Can You Ever Forgive Me, If Beale Street Can Talk, and A Star Is Born. I'm just gonna go out and I'm gonna go with If Beale Street Could Talk.
Yeah, this was another tough one, man. Because I mean, all the good stuff's here, and for screenplay, can't really deny it. I'm gonna go with Black Klansman. When I think about dialogue and the way it's written and the characters, Black Klansman stands out to me. And I think again, I'm a fan of sharing the love. So I think some of these other movies will get love somewhere else, like Star Is Born. So I'm gonna go Black Klansman for this one.
And can I stay out of this one also?
Yeah, if you can always chime in later.
I'll stay out of documentary and I'll stay out of this one, but I do want to come back to this one more time, a quick in the next week or two before we actually do the live stream of the.
Yeah. Or we could just do it live. Do it live as
there you go. I'll do it live.
Yeah.
We'll do it live.
That's
Yeah.
right.
We'll just go. If we have to. I'm writing down what we have right now. Yeah, and I'm writing down notes as we're doing this, so I'm keeping up with what we're all choosing.
And business ordering pizza.
Of course I am.
Woo!
Yes.
Yeah, but you're fine.
No,
Huh?
no, I got it.
No.
Mike.
Let him
Don't fight me. Okay,
Well,
fine. You fought me.
So you have If Beale Street Could Talk.
Yeah, I have Bill Street Can Talk. He has
I'll go
Black Klansman.
All
You want to wait a little bit, see.
He wants to wade in after he's got a full look at it.
Speaking of that screenplay, though, let's check out an original screenplay. We got First Reformed, Green Book, Roma, The Favorite, and Vice. First Reformed, I currently actually bought it on Vudu. It was like 2 for $10, so it was like $5. So I will get to First Reformed.
Who's in that?
Soon. That's the Ethan Hawke one.
Oh, okay, yes.
Amanda Seyfried and Cedric the Entertainer. But for the first time ever billed as Cedric Kyles. The director was like, I ain't using that bullshit entertainer thing. So.
Well, that's good, though. That's good. I mean, it's nice to have him use be professional for once.
So I will get to First Reformed. It's definitely, I have seen the first few minutes. It is definitely a somber movie. It's giving me feels of Manchester by the sea. But yeah, for screenplay here, let's look up. Nah, my phone's beeping, man. We're not professional here at all.
Am I the only one on silent? You son of guns.
I'm sorry. Well, Bill loves to start recording and not tell us, so I didn't really get the official we're recording silence thing. I'm gonna go for a long shot from my heart. I'm gonna go with Vice. That's another one where, like, in a way, when I think of screenplay, I think of just that snappy dialogue that sticks out to me, and like Black Klansman, the Vice dialogue sticks out to me, man. And I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, I don't put it past Vice to actually win this one. I'm looking at Green Book. I like that. I love the dialogue also in The Favorite. Again, Green Book. Even Mahershala Ali actually said they may be in behind. Mahershala. I'm just gonna call him Ali from now on. God dang it! I'm just gonna call him Ali because I like him. I hate to butcher his name as much as I am, but I am. But he's actually gone on the record, I believe, as saying that they're kind of behind because people are still holding a grudge of Viggo using the N-word in a post screening as he was just answering a question. And he apologized for it. Everyone else has accepted the apology. It just seems that people hold grudges in Hollywood for some reason, just because they used it once, and he was basically using it as a term that was being described, and so it was taken out of context. And and he apologized again. And I think if you apologize and it's a heartfelt apology, you should be bigger and move on. And I think you're going to see a lot of that issue during these awards, when we get to the leading role, because I think they hold grudges. Like I say, if you just spit in the wrong direction nowadays, and we'll talk more about that later on, it's harder to do. But I'm going to answer your question. I'm gonna go with Vice on that, though. I'm going to go with Vice.
You're not sticking with Green Book on that?
No, I'm going to go Vice. Even though I want to go Green Book, I'm going to go Vice with you.
And I'm going to hold off again.
Hold off. I want to touch back more on what Dutch was talking about, though. I do know what you mean about the grudges, because even the Kevin Hart thing, I thought people were really still on it for longer than it should have been, in my opinion, anyway, man. It goes to the age-old saying, if it bleeds, it leads. I just think we love controversial things, and that's what I'm afraid of for both Hollywood and life. Listen, if things are wrong and if someone's doing the wrong thing, 100% stand up, talk about it. But at the same time, I don't think we need to crucify everyone for every little thing, in my opinion.
Absolutely. So let's go. Where are we going next?
Let's jump to director and leave the big three for the end.
Oh, okay. Directing. I don't even know who's directing on these.
Director, we got Spike Lee for Black Klansman.
Thank you.
Peral Pawlikowski for Cold War. Yorgos Lanthimos for The Favorite. Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, and Adam McKay for Vice. I don't know if I said all those names right, but I'm pretty sure I said them better than you could have, Dutch.
You probably did.
So I'm glad I think that one.
And I'm going to go with the idea that you can do that. But, okay, I just want to, before I even go there with the directing, can we ever get an agreement that if you win for Best Directing, you should automatically win for Best Picture? Why would that not be? Tell me why that cannot be.
Sure, I'll tell you right now. Best Picture is a very overall thing. Yeah. You have to take the direction in mind, you have to take the cinematography in mind, the editing, the dialogue, the performances. So just because you are the best director doesn't mean that the overall Best Picture isn't the winner. So...
Well, I disagree. I have always thought, if you're going to nominate people, so we're going to go to Best Picture later, but Cold War, They're not in the best picture, but yet they were best foreign film language. So I just don't see how you can really, say this is a best picture, because to me, best picture to me also has the best director. And that's how that works in my mind. It should always work that way. And I don't know if you agree.
I can see it working out that way a good amount of times or sometimes, but I don't think it's saying it'll be all. I could look at a movie and say, overall, this movie is better, but this movie was better directed. I think I could say that.
Yeah, I can see where I've seen that, but it's very rare that it does happen, in my mind. Where I'm looking at this way, either it's just a top-notch perfect film or it's not. And that's what best picture is. And to me, that includes the director. That includes the actors. And so that's when you should always have a clean sweep. But again,
you can't have a clean sweep.
I understand. You can.
And it's possible. And to kind of agree with you in a way, again, as we were talking about before with the voting, there's unfortunately more than just simply who is the best. There's politics. There's sometimes the this dude's been nominated so much, let's give it to him award. Yeah. So there is more than
it's like the Meryl Streep complex. I'm surprised she wasn't nominated for Best Supporting Actress in this one for Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins
in her 5-minute cameo. That's because that's how they always.
And that happens a lot. Like I said, that's what I think happened with Rockwell to a degree. Is that I think he's on the mind. Oh, he's great. He's done it before. He'll do it again. Kind of like even Adam Driver. I think the reason he got in, maybe because he's been looked at before. To just slap everyone in the face with it, even though I hate the movie with it myself. I'm going to go with Roma then for Best Director. Why not? Of this list, I'm going to go with The Thought in the Quran. I think artistically, when people talk about this movie, it's because of the cinematography and the directing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautifully shot. Like I said, it's a beautifully shot film. Other than that, it's just crap.
So you're taking Roma also. You're taking Roma also.
Yeah, Jordan's taking Roma.
Okay. All right, and then I'm going to hold off on this one.
Okay. So we're going to go with what we have the big three next. So we're going to go ladies first. Let's go ladies first for actress in a leading role. Actress in a leading role. Here we are with bad names again. Yelissa Aparicio for Roma, Glenn Close for The Wife, Olivia Colman for The Favorite, Lady Gaga for A Star Is Born, and Melissa McCarthy, Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Never.
I wanted to see Can You Ever Forgive Me, but I never got around to it.
We were going to see it, and then Movie Pass said F you, James and Jordan, and we couldn't, and that's a long story we won't get into, but Movie Pass, you broke my heart this year.
Yeah.
What happened? Real quick. Give me
synopsis. Movie Pass just screwed everybody.
So the Movie Pass kept changing its rules and regulations and whatnot. So basically what it said was the newest thing was here's a list of movies you can watch every day. It's a certain list. So you couldn't just say I want to see Vice today. It had to be on the list. All right, fine. We'll deal with that, right? But then what was happening is for some reason, and we're not alone in this, it's become a common joke now.
Yeah.
It would say, okay, you can see Can You Forever Forgive Me at 7 o'clock. Well, we leave the house at 6, and this was the first time this happened to us. We leave the house at, let's say 6 for a 7 o'clock showing. All of a sudden, James calls me. He's like, it's gone. And I'm like, what do you mean it's gone? It's not even, 6:30 yet. And I go, your app must be wrong. And sure enough, it was just gone. All of a sudden, movies would just disappear at a certain time. Yeah. So I don't know if there was a cap. You couldn't get customer service to explain what the heck happened. So
it would just
Movie Pass, the thing I was in love with.
Who wasn't in love with it? I loved it.
And I was in love with it when it was triple the price.
And I fell in love with it when it was still triple the price, like you. So and I was willing to still pay $35 a month to watch unlimited films. And then everyone got a little greedy with $9, for $10 a month. It was all you could watch. And then people started getting more and more greedy. And I just find no one's ever satisfied no matter what you do anyway with anything. But
I don't think they could sustain it. Obviously they weren't making money, so they had to keep finding new ways to change, what you can see, when you can see it.
Yeah.
And the fact that you have no customer service is nuts too.
And it used to be good customer service. Do you remember when it used to be good customer service? You used to be able
to straight up call them and get a human being to talk to you on the phone.
Or you can text them and they can get your answer right away.
Now you get a robotic response. I'm like, at least explain to me Like, is there a cap? Like, okay, the first 100 people in Naples get to see a movie till 6 p.m. Like, what is the deal? Like, do I have to go at 4 now? Don't even look at 7 o'clock. Like, you couldn't get an explanation.
We're gonna
couldn't figure out a formula.
No. But we're gonna, I hate to reel us back in just a little bit because soapbox. Yeah, we could get him on that soapbox. Oh, it's still there.
It's still there. It's just they keep changing. Like, who.
They got big news coming next month, supposedly. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Let's see what their big
Chicken
news
Little,
is.
the sky is falling. I believe it when I see it.
So we're looking at leading role and an actress. Who do you got there, Mr. J?
Oh, right. I forgot what we're talking about.
That's why I got to roll this back in. I got to bring it back in.
The two favorites. I really wouldn't mind Melissa McCarthy, for having kind of her last few comedies have not been that great, man.
Life of the Party?
Are you?
I enjoyed the hell out of that movie.
The hell out of it.
I enjoyed
Ladies
it
and gentlemen,
immensely.
we found the one guy that really liked Life of the Party. A super forgettable blah movie.
Yeah, see, I got a cowbell for it.
Yeah, Cabo for how nuts you are.
Well, no, I mean, you didn't watch it with me, did you?
No, I didn't watch it with you. No,
Yeah,
actually,
no.
it wasn't worth it.
I went to watch it.
Cool.
I enjoyed it. I laughed my butt off. And
When?
in the theater. When in
Give
the
me
theater?
a scene where your butt was laughed off.
I've only seen it once, but I'm just saying I
and
enjoyed
you
it.
can't remember one really good scene? Proving my point. That's forgettable.
No, there's a lot. There's a
Is that
lot.
the one where she was on the moped and she lands on the cement.
Nope.
No. That's I don't even know what movie.
You
that
can't
was.
even tell the difference. That sounds like Spy or. It sounds like every Melissa McCarthy movie. That's the problem.
No.
Anywho.
Exactly.
So
That's true. I agree
you're
with
gonna
that.
go with Melissa McCarthy on this?
No, I'm not
No.
because we're not listening. I'm just saying I wouldn't mind her winning because I do think she's a really good actress and this seemed like an actually good movie for once.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the two favorites are Olivia Colman for the favorite.
Yes.
Obviously, all three ladies got nominated, but the girl and Lady Gaga. I don't know, man. It's between Gaga, close, and Coleman. I'm gonna give it a close again. I think she's gonna walk away again
That's
the
what I'm
winner.
doing, too.
I think over Gaga. I think Gaga might have to prove herself a little bit more, and then just getting the award right away.
Can I play Upset Day? I'm gonna go with Olivia
Eureka.
Colman.
Oh, Olivia Colman. Okay,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
definitely possible
Because
she's got a lot of talk.
the performance that she puts on in The Favorite is unbelievably great. I mean, she makes you laugh. She makes you recoil as well. But in the way her demeanor is throughout the film. But it's just, to me, her performance is well worth watching. And it captivated me. I did want to see. I wanted you to go with me to watch The Wife, but you couldn't get it to go. You're like, no, not a very big that type of film right away.
Oh, now I would see it.
But now you would. But see, I that's what you got to do. You got to go looking at films and things. And it did look like she was going to put on a great performance. The whole film looks great. You can still get it on VOD. You can always watch a video on demand.
I will plan on.
But it's one of those movies. I think she will win it, but I'm going to go with Olivia Colman, and you both are going with Glenn Close.
Yes.
So that's what that goes for. But so we're up to the next one.
Actor in leading role. Your nominees are Christian Bale in Vice, Bradley Cooper in A Star Is Born, William Dafoe at Eternity's Gate, Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody, and Viggo Mortensen for Green Book. This is a tough one, man, because props to all 5 performances. They all look great for the couple that I haven't seen. The ones I have seen, they are great for dang sure. Props to Dafoe for kind of sneaking in. A lot of people didn't necessarily see that coming. It definitely looks like a movie built on that performance. And like I said, everyone else here is wonderful. I don't see Viggo winning it. I don't see him winning it. I think he's a worthy nominee, but I don't see him walking away.
I see backlash in his future.
And then it's hard because, like, if you look at like the Globes, you had Bale and Rami winning it. So, this one, if I gotta do a tiebreaker, it's tough. I'm gonna go with the man who doesn't like you when you ruin his his set, Christian Bale. La-di-da, Christian Bale.
Yes. I love you, man, but you should be fired. I love you that much. You should be fired. But no, I Christian Bale, great job as Dick Cheney. You forget that it's actually Christian Bale on the screen. That's what I loved about it. I mean, that's a true actor when you can actually forget who the hell that person is behind all that makeup. That is an actor to me.
Do you really like the scene I like, which is the towards the end where he's doing the interview and he just stops and looks at the camera and starts that little monologue? I love that monologue.
Yeah, it's like I said, he's just because it seems like that's the kind of guy Dick Cheney is. He'll just break off in his own little soliloquies here and there, and you're like, well, that is unbelievable. I just like the whole premise of the character that he played of Dick Cheney, even when he was the younger Dick Cheney. I know Bradley Cooper.
When you can make a mouthwash scene good.
Oh, absolutely, yes. The greatest mouthwash scene.
The greatest mouthwash scene ever.
Yeah, and I just, you and I chuckled at the same time. And, he's in there trying to figure out, what did you say? When he's just washing his mouth out and then just spits it into the sink. And then they go into the complete Shakespearean Fortnite feel, and I love that scene. There's a lot of memorable scenes in Vice. Bradley Cooper, or The Star is Born. Bradley Cooper, hats off, brother, because you've done something that a lot of people were kind of hesitant on giving you the keys to.
That's what I mean, man. If he were to walk away, I would not be upset at all.
No, Willem Dafoe. I just love Willem Dafoe.
I do too.
And I've not seen this.
What was that movie last year about in Orlando? They filmed that.
The Florida Project.
Yeah, the Florida Project.
Oh,
Yeah,
I loved that.
And
I wanted him to win that.
Yeah, and I thought he should have won on that one.
That was the U.S. version of Roma.
But he should have won that one though. I think he should have won in that one.
Me too.
I disagree. I disagree. I thought that was it's a good performance, but it's no way of like a flashy, like deep enough performance. He played a good dude who like ran the apartment complex. That's about it.
Rami Malek, Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know. He was good. Is it best performance good? No. I'm just gonna say that he's off my list. But wow. Viggo Mortensen, I enjoyed the heck out of him again. I would like to see him win. But
not gonna happen.
I don't think it will. Like I said, I keep on doing this. People are gonna backlashing him.
Nah.
I'm gonna go with Christian Bale. You've talked me into it. I've talked myself into it. I think everyone's talked themselves into it because to me, Christian Bale, like I said, when you forget that that's who that son of a gun is, and you really think that's Dick Cheney up on screen, you've got something. And I'm gonna go with like I said, I won't get disappointed if Bradley or Willem walk away with it. I'll be happy if Viggo walks away with it, but I'm gonna go with Christian Bale. What do you think there, Mr. Bartanian?
I'll go with Christian Bale also.
So all
another
three.
Agreement from the three show by show dudes.
All right, really?
Yeah. So that's the only time we've actually all agreed.
No.
Besides Spider-Man, that's the only time we've actually all agreed on the same movie.
All right, James, the most important category of the night, brother. You want to run it down?
Yeah, Best Picture. Best Picture nominees are Black Panther, BlacKkKlansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Green Book, Roma, and A Star is Born, and Vice. That's like a loaded handgun right there. Just you shoot everything off, and you're not going to be upset unless it's Roma.
Real quick, before we talk about the movies, I want to hear you guys' opinion on the recent age-old question. Do you like this new voting system that we have, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Do you think it should be 5? What do you think?
I think it should be as many as you could possibly get that actually means something. Sometimes it seems like they just throw films in because they want to be able to say they're PC enough as an academy. At the end of the day, that's why they got. I have a feeling, and I hope it's not the real feeling of what they feel, but what my idea is that they want to do the most popular film category. Okay, they wanted to run it this year, but then they thought, oh no, let's not do it this year. Let's hold that off till next year. And a lot of people were saying, well, we all know Black Panther is going to win the best popular category, and that's what they were. So I'm thinking they wanted a lot more diversity in their best picture films, and I think that's what they've done. And home runs to all these films. There's nothing wrong with them except for there is one thing wrong, and that's Roma. But all the other films, I've seen them all except for BlacKkKlansman, which I will be watching. So, it's a great eclectic a bunch of films, and I think
don't they do a best popular? Why don't they do
Well, next
They
year
were going to.
Yeah, but then
A lot of backlash.
A lot of backlash because they all said that it's already a given that Black Panther should win, and that's
Mission Impossible I enjoyed that.
Well,
that would be in that category, in my opinion.
Well, it would be, but right now though, that's what they were all looking at. So they wanted to try to get, something along the lines of more of a diverse, I guess, lineup. But but for Best Picture, that's a rough one.
I wish there was 5. By the way, I think it was more important back in the day, where if you were nominated, you were one of the 5 best of the year. It was a real thing to hang your hat on. Now I think it's a little bit of a less accomplishment to say I'm one of 8 to 10. You sneak your way in. I think it was a business move just to try to get the Black Panthers, the Dark Knights, maybe a cartoon in there. You know what I mean? It was a business move, and I don't know. I like the 5, but more love to more good films, so I'm also okay with it on that level. All right, back to you, James.
No, but what do you?
A whole other category.
Well, popular film would be a good one, but right now I'm gonna go with Best Picture. I'm gonna say. Let's shock the world. I'm going Vice. I'm gonna go Vice. Why not? I'm gonna go Vice.
Oh no!
I think that's a long shot, buddy. I don't see Vice winning.
I don't see it either, but I'm looking at the films now, and I'm just looking and digesting everything I've seen. The favorite would be one of my tops. Mm-hmm. Green Book and A Star Is Born and Vice. Those are the ones that should have maybe made it all the way the first time.
I'm gonna go with A Star Is Born. I think Hollywood also loves a movie about the entertainment business. I thought it was I think it's a fantastic movie.
It is.
As every movie, there's a little bit of people going I don't know, but
if you didn't cry at the end, you're a heartless bastard. Is what I'm going to say.
I just thought it was a great tale of love, of addiction, of stardom, of everything, man. So I think that it was my favorite film of the year. So obviously, I think it should win Best Picture.
Okay.
It will have that gravitas, so that they promote it to go out and see it. I'll assume that, but. Can I hold off? Let me hold off.
Yeah, Ryan's going to abstain again.
Just one more time, because that one is important, and I got to get it right.
Absolutely. And that's what we got. That's our Oscar roundup. Woo. There's a lot to digest. Watch it again. Watch it over and over. But
nominations of 2019. We'll have a little bit more, of course, during the live stream. I know I'll catch up on, like I said,
and we'll even
First
cover
Reformed and as much as I can.
We're going to cover hair and makeup whenever it's live, because that's the most important. That's the one everyone really wanted us to get to. But I'm sorry, people. Hair and makeup will have to wait till the live cast. That's how that works.
Let's talk some snubs, man. Let's talk some overlooks.
Yeah. Do you have any overlooks right now? Give me some. Give me some,
here, buddy. First of all, my number one snub is oddly enough. Well, no, because that got its rightful love. Although, you're saying for song,
right?
All right, yeah, that's up there. But my number one is actually, for once, and I don't think I've ever said this before, in the documentary category. Won't You Be My Neighbor?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That
How
was.
in the bluest of moons did this not get nominated? Not only based on my own heart, because this was a film that I absolutely loved, but because this is easily, I think, Free Solo I've heard about, and RBG. This was easily the most talked about documentary of the year.
Yeah.
It was one of, if not the most loved documentary of the year. So the fact that it didn't get nominated makes absolutely no sense to me. Is it one of those things where everyone figured it would be nominated, so no one nominated it?
It's to me, it was on the lines of Inconvenient Truth. When I say that, I mean for popularity wise, of people running to watch it. I remember when I watched it, I didn't watch it with you, but I remember I told you
we saw it separately.
Yeah, we saw it separately, and I told you when I watched it, I said, if you can't watch this film and not be touched, I don't want to hang around you anymore. Because to me, that film was the most touching film that I have ever seen made about anybody. I mean, it made me cry in my seat. I mean, literally, the women that were right by me were crying. I was crying. I mean, there was not a dry eye.
You want to get up and hug the strangers next to you.
Absolutely.
It's that kind of film. And that's what I was saying. Even people like me that aren't the biggest documentary guys, I had heard so many things about this between you, the people on Stardust, the reviews, where I was like, I kind of got to see this. Yeah. And so that makes no sense to me how it got overlooked. I don't know.
Another one, Best Director, Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, very weird. So, this is one where that rings out to me as a really well directed film too.
Yeah. Out of all of them, out of all the thought processes, why would you could have best supporting actor, best actress nominee, you have best actor nominee, best picture nominee, but where's the best director? How could you not have a director that has already given you 4 nominees and also Best Original Song. I'm just saying, there's already 5. There's 5 things out there. What, you thought the 6th one was going to push it over the edge because you've gotten 10 for Roma. You got about 10 for The Favorite. But yet you overlook a great director. To me, it was a directorial debut, if I'm not mistaken. It was a debut for Bradley Cooper. Yeah. In the big screen, and it's almost like, to me, whenever Ben Affleck won.
So my words. Go on.
He won, and because it was a good film. Argo was a fabulous film, and he directed the film the way it should have been done. And the same thing with Bradley Cooper. Bradley Cooper did a hell of a job.
This is actually here. Let's go back to the question you asked before. That's where I get very confused, and I agree with you on a different level, to put it close. We used them before. How can you be director but not picture? How can you say it's the best picture and at least not be nominated for director? That baffles me.
Yeah.
Like, Argo was a well-directed film, and it wasn't Affleck's first. It was his second or his third.
Yeah, because Gone Baby
Gone, and The Town, which were all also well-directed films.
Yes.
And a great...
And everyone loves The Town because John Hamm was in it. That's... I believe.
People at the time, is a good movie.
Yeah, well, I just like John Hamm. So.
John Hamm, Jeremy Renner, Ben Affleck, Blake Lively. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And that it very much reminds me of that. Like, is it because he's like his first time? I don't know. Another weird overlook that I just think, like, it could very well walk away Best Picture winner, and it'd be just like Argo, where Best Picture winner without the director even being nominated. So that's kind of nuts.
So what other gripes did you have?
From the actor category, people were talking about Ethan Hawke for First Reformed, John David Washington for Black Klansman. Like I said, Driver got nominated, not Washington, though. A little bit surprising. No love for Emily Blunt, who had 2 really good roles this year, called Quiet Place.
Yeah.
How great is she in that, man?
Yeah, she did good.
And then Mary Poppins. Some people thought she might get love for that. Didn't.
Well, a lot of love was for Mary Poppins, even though it was a very well-received film. It's been nominated for a few things. But to me, it's just, she did a good job, but it wasn't a great, spectacular performance to me. I just thought it was a good job. Good job for her,
A lot of people were hoping Toni Collette would get in for Hereditary. That's a damn fine performance. That's one I would actually kind of fight for as well.
I didn't see that movie, to be honest, because I don't like horror films. You know me and horror films. I'm not a very big fan.
I mean, it's a crazy out there horror film, man. I mean, it goes places, but it's when you look at performances, it's a damn fine performance, almost like anything you would see from like a film like I nominated like years ago, like Rosemary's Baby or whatever. Like, great performance by Collette. That's one I would actually fight for. One I love this one, Sorry to Bother You, for original screenplay.
Yeah,
I thought could have been a great one. You mentioned Cooper got no love. So did Green Book's Peter Farrelly. There's a good chance Green Book will walk away with his Best Picture as well. It did with the Globe. Mm-hmm. And yet, again, no love for the director. Could be because of some controversy as well, maybe.
Of his past. So, people just...
no love for Widows. I think we both liked Widows a lot. No love for Widows.
I thought Widows was, if anything, you could have gotten a little bit more of a diverse, and I'm not looking for diversity as a diversity's sake. I'm saying a diverse look and say the Best Supporting Actress knobs. And same with El Royale's performer,
Cynthia Erivo.
Cynthia Erivo. If you could,
that movie got no love at all. Yeah.
But they got no love, but she didn't get any love in both of her performances, though smaller in Widows. But if you ignore her completely, you could have put her in alongside with Best Supporting Actress or maybe Lead Actress. I know that's a lot.
And Viola Davis, I think, is really great in that too.
Oh, Viola Davis,
nominee.
And again, a stellar performance.
I wonder if it got, and I would imagine it might have, although I have no idea, and maybe it didn't. Because at the end of it, did they get SAG nominated? Not SAG. What's the one where it's like group of people?
SAG. Best Ensemble, I think.
Yeah, Best Ensemble.
Yeah, I think
I wonder if it got nominated for that, because that is a film where like there's like 15 great performances in it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
No love for that. Best film, no love for If Beale Street Could Talk. A lot of people were surprised by that.
Which I'm surprised.
Coming from Moonlight and Winning. 8th Grade also didn't get a lot of love. A lot of people really enjoyed that. Speaking of, what was it? If Beale Street Could Talk, also not nominated was First Man. For both Gosling got nothing, and then also no Best Picture nominees, which means we won't get any mess ups with First Man. Wouldn't that be funny if they said, "Here's your winner, First Man"? Just kidding. It's If Beale Street Could Talk. So we won't get that again this year at the Oscars. Yeah. not too surprising, but a lot of people, if you had before the movies came out, maybe would have guessed Steve Carell would have been maybe walking away with something because he had Welcome to Marwen, Beautiful Boy, Vice.
Again, people got
Nothing.
upset about Beautiful Boy not being was overlooked for everything, really.
Yeah, a lot of people thought Chalamet may get it, especially coming off of,
to me, do you think this could be a thought process against, say, direct marketing movies such as Amazon Prime or Netflix? Netflix had to actually cow down, and for the first time ever, Netflix has joined the MPAA, which I was very upset about hearing.
Why?
Because there's no reason for them to join the MPAA. They shouldn't have to bow down to what moms and dads are thinking across the country. We all know how rigged that MPAA system is.
I suppose.
But they joined them just to make them more official, which I don't think Amazon has joined them yet. So maybe there's
They have because Manchester by the Sea. And
well, I'm just saying they put their own things up, but they haven't been like labeled with the MPA. They haven't made such an announcement like Prime, like Netflix has made an announcement,
well, I know it's up
whereas Prime
until-
hasn't.
maybe now, but Netflix has always said TVMA for even a film.
Yeah,
you know?
and now they're joining the realm of MPAA, which I don't like. So that's just me.
And also, I just found this to be kind of interesting. In the First Timers Club, obviously, I know you won't agree, but I will agree. There's a reason it's nominated for Best Picture. Props to Black Panther for being the first superhero film to be nominated for Black Panther nominated for Best Picture. First superhero film to be nominated. This all kind of started because of The Dark Knight. A lot of people thought The Dark Knight was overlooked, and a lot of other great superhero films. So.
Well, no, I have nothing wrong with it. I just don't believe it should be, but.
I do.
Congratulations for it to be done.
And also, here's a little fun fact. I don't know if you guys knew. Spike Lee never been nominated. This is his first nomination for everything he's done. Do the Right Thing, American History X. It's the first time Spike Lee's getting some love, and some recognition.
Yeah, don't get too much on him, Spike. You're not going to win.
I never said he would.
But that's our Oscars production, right?
I look forward to the night. Let's see.
Live show. We're gonna go February 24th. We're gonna do a special live event where we're all gonna dress up in our sparkly tuxedos and looking like we should be.
Mystery
awesome.
guest.
And a mystery guest in the Medea chair.
Quit hyping this mystery.
Who is
guest.
gonna be in the mystery chair? I can't wait. The Medea chair.
I'm going to quit hyping it because when you guys find out who's going to be in that mystery chair,
Yeah,
it's all
absolutely.
They don't have a plan at all, guys.
I'm working on it as well. Don't worry. I'm gonna try to tap.
This is like
yours.
Braun Strowman and his
happen.
tag team partner. It's just gonna be like a joke.
No. So you're giving these references to things. What? These
you're a wrestling
insiders.
fan, you'll feel like
If
it
you're
was
if you're a wrestling fan.
Uncle Arnold.
Hey, Uncle Arnold, I can't wait.
He's in the mix. He's in the running.
Oh,
also.
hey, that'll be
Chair.
fabulous. I can't
Oh, that's
wait.
probably what it'll end up being. Your uncle who's always here anyway.
Oh, whoa!
Wait, whoa!
Don't
What are you
be giving
talking
out
about?
spoilers.
What are you talking
He's giving
about?
out
Dear
spoilers.
God,
Man.
you want to know how some of these
already-
movies end? I can tell you because that's how he feels about people in the guest. We don't know. Hey, you know what? I could be working on somebody big, somebody huge. I'm working on somebody right now. Okay.
Yeah,
Theory
that means you
works
send
at
an
the
email
bar
that
at
won't get
McDonald's.
replied.
Hey, we might actually have to go to Des Moines, Iowa. I'm not sure, but you in on me on that? If we
Yes.
go, okay, if we gotta go, we gotta go.
Why are you going to Des Moines, Iowa?
Oh, we might have an interview, my friend. I submitted for an interview with somebody.
And you got to go to Iowa. So good
Count
luck.
me in.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta go away to make things happen. So, but now the next segment is our favorite segment because we all had to do homework. It's called Deja Vu.
Deja vu.
Ooh.
I
Why
got
do
a
you have to
special
make it
sound.
weird,
I
James?
gotta-
I'm just
I
trying to
gotta-
make it cool.
Ooh.
All right, you got to say it. What's the next segment called?
Deja.
Deja vu.
Ooh.
Quit making it weird, Touch.
So, if you didn't pay attention to the last time, we all drew number. We drew a number, and we were assigned a film for January 2005 that came out, and we all settled on. Jordan decided on White Noise. I decided on Assault on Precinct 13. And Ryan over there decided $1 Million Make Me Cry. So $1 Million Baby.
Boomer baby.
And so we're gonna start off with White Noise. Ryan just finished watching it, or tried to finish
I'm
watching
about
it.
3/4 of the way through before my kid had to have Fortnite, which
Yeah.
they're still playing right now.
You said you fell asleep.
No, he just took a nap because his kids took over the the TV.
I actually like the film. I like it. I can't wait to see what happens.
Oh, you're going to be disappointed, but
I wanted to hear what he thought of the ending because the ending's interesting. I thought
the ending was. I'm not going to ruin it because I can't ruin it, but I'm going to ruin it anyway. I'm going to. You know what? I'm going to spoil it because it's from 2005, and I don't care.
No, Ryan hasn't seen it.
Well, wait a second. Do you like Michael Keaton?
I love Michael Keaton.
I do too.
And I wanted better for this film. I really, truly did. I just thought the ending was kind of hokey. I'm going to go with that for me. And I'm not ruining it because I don't want you to be ruined.
If you must.
No, I can't ruin the ending because if somebody hasn't seen it and they're wanting to watch it. But I thought it was a hokey film. It's not a film that...
It's not great. I just thought there was some interesting kind of costumes to it. And I do really like Keenan as well. So yeah, and it was January 05. So there wasn't a hell of a lot to choose from.
Nothing's ever good in January. As you can see, I've only seen a few handful of films now in January before February even began. I'm at this point, though, I'm looking at the idea that Michael Keaton just needed a paycheck, and so he got one in 2005 doing White Noise. They came out with, they had a White Noise 2, by the way. I'm surprised we've not even seen that one.
I have. Nathan Fillion. I've seen it.
Yeah, and I like Nathan Fillion.
I love Nathan Fillion.
But I just didn't like the film.
For a directed-DVD horror sequel, it's not that bad.
Yeah. And I don't understand 3 ghosts stalking one man. That's just me. It's all of a sudden you have 3 ghosts...
Well, as a man who's being stalked by multiple ghosts right now, some of us do. Really.
Yeah, and I'm like, what is this? Like a posse? Are they trying to say, hey, EVP, we only talk about it, but we don't actually talk about it.
What do you give it?
Out of 5 snowflakes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say they all melted by the time they got down to the ground.
Okay, out of 5 stars.
Out of 5 stars, I'm gonna go with a watchable 2.5. And that's
what I'd go with, probably.
It's like a watchable 2.5. But again,
you guys sent me a watchable 2.5 movie.
I didn't give you that. I gave you I gave you a 3.5 star film to watch, and that was what I gave you. I gave you.
No, you didn't.
I did too. Assault on Precinct 13. Yeah. That's a 3.5 solid.
It is right with White Noise, and then a solid 2.5 for my end. Act like you gave us a great film.
I gave you the greatest film, man.
It was okay. It is the epitome of a kind of a throwaway January movie. This thing was probably shot and done a year prior, where they're like, I don't know what to do with it. It's not that good. You're not really connected to any of these characters. Throw it in January. Like Ethan Hawke chews some scenery the first few minutes, and then it just becomes kind of stuck by the numbers. A couple of fun deaths you don't quite see coming, or at least the way it happens.
It's an exciting action film.
I wasn't that excited, man. It was a little dark, and I mean that also too, in the way it was shot, not in the tone.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, it's a movie that if this wasn't deja vu'd, I probably would have been okay never seeing it again.
Yeah. So
I don't hate it though, but it's definitely like a 2.5.
I just thought the cast was good, and I thought that during the time it came out, I did rewatch it. I thought it held up to me, so I gave it I actually bumped it up a half star to 3.5. It used to be 3 out of 5 if you were to go crazy. So I would say 3.5, but he's doing 2.5. Did you get a chance to watch it?
No.
No, that's all right. No problem.
You have failed deja vu.
I have.
Okay, but
watch movies. Let me ask.
Whenever the hell I can, it seems.
Yeah, I was gonna agree. I work all different hours, so
yeah.
I fit him in.
I
fit him in. If I know I'm not gonna be anywhere for an hour or 3 hours or something like that, and I could fit an hour and a half film in, I could do that. But it's very hard to find an hour and a half film.
Now, does anyone do what I do? I'm a big breaker upper just because I don't know. I'll do an hour here, an hour there. Sometimes.
Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. I cannot do that.
I got to sometimes, yeah.
Well, no, I understand you guys, but I'm one of those people who I have to just block it out. And if I can squeeze you in, if I can squeeze that movie that's 2 hours in that film, if I can do that, I'm in. But, sometimes I got to look around for an hour and a half film, and you don't get those anymore. You don't get a good hour and a half comedy, or, even comedies now are 2.5 hours long. And you're
they're not.
Not all of them. I'm saying
none of them except for Judd Apatow.
Well, I'm just saying 2 hour long comedies should not happen.
I don't know. It depends.
That's why the 80s was so great. If you watch a lot of those comedies,
they don't hold up.
They some of them do. Not all of them. I'm going to give you that.
Well, give me a good 80s one that
anything with John Candy. Anything with John Candy. Summer
Joe
Rental.
Volcano.
Joe versus the Volcano was Tom Hanks.
And John Candy.
No, John Candy was not in Joe versus the Volcano. He was in Volunteers in the 80s. You can look it up. It's on the floor if you need to find that or you need your thing. But, no, John Candy, I believe, was not in that.
Who's your favorite John Candy film?
Oh, God. Only the Lonely, I would say, is my favorite John Candy film.
Heard of it.
Only Alone?
No, was he in Home? No, he wasn't in Home.
He was the polka singer, wasn't he?
In Home Alone?
Yeah, he is.
I don't remember Home Alone that well.
What?
No, I mean, it's serious. It wasn't that great of a movie to my head.
Was it great for you?
No, it wasn't. I don't know why, but it just didn't resonate with me.
Oh my God, I have to watch that.
I can try to rewatch it if we have to as a homework assignment, but I just don't.
What movie do you have to see during the Christmas season? I have to watch Home Alone. Home Alone, that is my movie nowadays.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, but I'm Home Alone.
Never seen it.
Those bad guys, Joe Pesci and what's his? That is so good.
Yeah, I
just love it.
Daniel Stern, I believe, right? Is that who the other dude is, right?
Yeah.
But I just think that Only the Lonely. If you want to check out a film that John Candy's in, he's a great actor, great comedic actor. But Only the Lonely is one of his very first turns as a actual like a serious actor. I think it's.
What about Uncle Buck?
Uncle Buck was fantastic. And to me, the scene that gets me every time just watching is whenever he's wanting to go to the track so bad. He wants to go to the track. He has that inside tip, and the kids are sitting in the back, and he has to make that decision. Do I do what's right for the kids and help this girl, that his niece who's been nothing but a pain, or do I just be selfish and self-centered like I've always been? And at that moment you can see it in his eyes that he really truly loves his family. And to me that's what I take from him, and any performance that he's ever done. Wagons East was not as fine. Unfortunately he passed during filming of that movie. But
isn't it weird about both him and the other chubby legend Chris Farley?
Yeah.
Also, his last film was like a Wagons East.
Yeah. Which I like. Almost Heroes.
Yeah.
Which I love. One of the most underrated, films.
It's rated.
Oh, it's what I'm.
It's rated.
It's great.
How did they both pass?
Well, Chris Farley
in a
overdosed.
van down by the river.
Yeah, unfortunately, Chris Farley overdosed and died in his home. The other John Candy, he basically died of a heart attack. He drank himself basically to death. His dad died at a young age, as far as I could read. A heavy drinker, heavy smoker. But his father died at an early age, and he always thought he was going to die at an early age. He always thought that in his head, as far as I can gather from what I've read over the years. And to me, I think John Candy, I miss him still to this day, because there's so many. It's like Phil Hartman's movies, people that you want to see in a film today. Let's talk about $1 Million Baby. I watched it because you told me to watch it. We watched it. I watched it. You watched it probably, or no? Did you watch it, $1 Million Baby?
Seen it before?
I've never seen it.
So am I the only one who did the full homework this week? Okay, so
I thought I could find it, but where my M DVDs are, it's very hard to get to.
But here I am. I'm watching.
DVDs do you have?
Oh, so many.
Okay, all right.
There's a website I can show you later.
But I'm watching this, and I'm like, okay, I remember this. It was good. And then I was like, oh crap, here comes the heavy ending again. Clint Eastwood does what he does because he respects this girl. And I'm just sitting there watching it. I'm crying. Thank you very much again. I'm just crying at home. I know it's coming. It's like Green Mile. Something. You know it's going to happen. You know the ending. I've read the book. I knew the movie.
Green Mile,
I knew it was going to happen.
He gets released and lives a happy life, right?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what they tell me. But I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and I know it's coming. And I can't stop it. I will still cry, and I cried my eyes out. So thank you very much, Mark. For doing that to me, Mr. Dizzle, making me cry at my house, which is okay because
are we drawing tonight? Or are we saving that?
Drawing is next week. Okay. We're gonna do a draw next week. We'll find out what year we're picking, and then we come back. We talk about it again, and then we just watch them again. So that kind of narrows it down to one movie a month for us. By the way, it works. What we're gonna do, reviews of movies that we've seen recently. I've seen two.
What you seen? Talk about them.
I went and watched at home. I went to watch it at home. You can watch it on VOD. Then Came You, starring Asa Butler and Maisie Williams. Maisie Williams plays a cancer victim. As she says, she has so many stages. They don't even have a name for the stage that she's in now.
What's this segment called?
This is called Review Movie, Films of Review, of what we've seen this week that's just come out. We talk about it a week before, and then if we can see them, we go and watch them. But Then Came You with Asa Butterfield, and who plays a hypochondriac.
Awesome.
And Maisie Williams, cancer victim. And you're sitting and you're watching it, very disappointed in this movie.
Really?
And to me,
and you were kind of excited.
I was excited about it. They just did not work it well. The chemistry between Asa and Maisie's there. It's just, I think the dialogue was kind of contrived. And plus the character that Asa feels, the hypochondriac, kind of throws it to a point of disbelief where he's in the doctor's office trying to see if there's anything wrong with him. He's going to measure his mole later on or something. But, he's in there and he's reading something about his prostate or testicular cancer, and he shoves his hand down his pants. You probably see it in the previews, but he starts, feeling himself up, and there's a kid in the front and the mom. And I'm like, no one, even a hypochondriac, wouldn't possibly do that. I don't know anybody who I've known who've had phobias and all that would never just start grabbing themselves and start seeing if there's anything wrong.
It's a movie, James, so
but,
obviously they're gonna do things that don't make
but
sense.
Again, it's a film about romance, but it goes off the rails a little bit on that.
Romance, putting your hands down your pants.
Yeah, romance. That's why he's putting his pants down his pants. But yeah, like I said, it was a high caliber film for me in my head, but the poor execution. I would say it's about a 2.5 watch.
I bet you when he put his hands down his pants, he felt nuts.
Oh, you probably did for that scene.
Thank you.
Hey, you'll be here all next week.
Thank you, come
Get
on.
a dinger for that one. That was fantastic.
The other film I saw.
Hold on, how many snowflakes?
All right, I told you how many stars. 2.5. It's not even.
Okay.
It has a 78% rating on, I guess, Rotten. If you want to go there, go by them.
Go by them.
Go by them if you really want to go there. But I'll tell you what movie I saw over the weekend, and it was a good movie. I was very pleasantly surprised. I hadn't even seen the first two, so that's how good. No, I saw the first one. I didn't see the second one. How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. It comes out to theaters on February 22nd. They had a Fandango release party this past weekend, so I took advantage of that, and this is the third official movie of the franchise. There's a spin-offs, television series on Netflix, and things like that you can watch, but we catch up with we with the crew and the dragons, and what they've done is now made a sanctuary city for everyone, and they go and rescue dragons that have also been captured by other raging clans. Toothless basically is the focal point of this one, is this time in which he is wanting to be loved. He wants more than just the buddy friendship. He wants an actual love, and he finds it in the white or the light dragon. I can't even remember what they call it at this point, but so it's a Toothless who's the alpha. Is then being hunted by F. Murray Abraham. Who voices one of the villain, and his character is hunting the last of the dragons of Toothless, of the night dragons. So basically, they're kind of shy with the workup, and so it kind of develops really quickly. So the film moves from A to C real quick, so it doesn't bring you down with the plot points. Children in the audience, you always look at those as they're watching it, and it turns out that they were all enthralled. I didn't see one kid that was bored. I mean, throughout the whole thing, I saw some parents look up at the ceiling on a few times, but I think that's because they were dragged there and they didn't even know what they were going into. But what happens is they find the dragon world. And I'm not going to really spoil it because everyone should.
Hold on, don't give away too much.
But again, the deal is they want to go to the dragon world to save the dragons. So they have to fight to be able to do this. And once they do, I actually found myself tearing up at the end. I don't find myself an emotional guy all the time, but lately some of these cartoon films or these animated films, they know how that strike the right chord along with the soundtrack behind it. Even if you took away the soundtrack, I would be okay. Mm-hmm. But they put something in there, and you're just like, dear God. There are some fanciful things. If you want to stay away from spoilers, stay away from any Funko site because they're plugging, some stuff, that people were upset about, which it's all part of the deal. But yeah, if this is the worst, if this is the last one that they make, which I think it is the last one they will be making, they left it out. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5.
4 snowflakes.
4 snowflakes.
Not bad. Not bad for a guy that for some reason I thought was kind of hating on the other two.
Yeah,
because the second one's really good as well, man.
Yeah, but this one, but don't forget Gerard Butler's in these, so it kind of helps me. And everyone knows Gerard Butler is one of the greatest underrated actors of all time. So
don't say everyone.
Everyone believes it. Look at y'all sleeping over there. You're tired of my rhetoric. But. So that's basically what I saw this week. But we have upcoming films this week. Upcoming films!
Well, hold on for a second. What did you see that you really enjoyed this week, Jordan?
I wasn't able to get out to the theater.
No, not theater. Just anything at home or anything that sticks out in your head that you really.
I've been binging a little bit of the new Netflix series Russian Doll with Natasha Lyonne.
I see that.
I'm really enjoying her a lot, man. I thought she was kind of a breakout of Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
And what?
F her in the mouth. What does it say? What's the line that I keep every time I see it on next? Something about F it in the mouth or whatever.
I don't know. I mean,
but you perked up though. I don't understand. You perked up in your seat there, Jordan.
What's it about?
It's the age-old Groundhog Day thing, but definitely a little more adult-oriented. She wakes up, it's her birthday party, and it seems like every day or two she dies, and she wakes up right back in that bathroom at her birthday party. But there's drugs, there's alcohol, there's ex-boyfriends, there's maybe some hobos. What's up?
Is this Happy Death Day 2? What's going on?
I mean, yeah. It's obviously it's a shtick we've seen. In fact, Netflix much love this shtick because they have the movie with Marlon Wayans, which is redoing it all over again. They had the Adam Driver movie from last year, which is a redo it all over again movie. So they love this shtick. But no, like I said, the kind of twist that I liked on this is, okay, Happy Death Day is a horror twist. Yeah. This is just kind of a more adult oriented. There's cursing. Yeah. She does cocaine. There's like maybe she messes around with the ex-boyfriend. So. It's interesting. There was just a twist. There's a twist too, a few episodes in, which is kind of interesting. So I'm about, I think, only halfway. It's another Netflix series. So there's not many.
And I've heard that
8 to 10. I think there's like 8 to 10. I don't think there's.
Yeah,
much.
I think they're going to a basic 8 now. I think that's what they're saying.
Yeah, there's a lot of 8s. Like I think Friends with College, which I also finished and enjoyed.
I haven't seen that. That's on my list.
It's 2 seasons. Have you seen either season?
I've seen the first season. First season I loved. Yeah. So
you loved it?
Yeah, I loved it. First season.
And I liked it, and I think I loved the second one more because I think just because I kind of got where they're going with it. You know what I mean?
And the second season looks
flawed human beings.
Fred Savage and his partner,
Billy Eichner.
Billy Eichner getting married, I believe, in the second.
Yeah, there's more of that. Eichner's only in a few of them.
I love both their chemistries. One, Fred's like his character's like, look, they're my friends, I love them, and the other guy's like, they're bad for you, right?
What series are you talking about?
Friends from College. It's another really good Netflix series. Great cast.
How many snowflakes do you give Russian Dolls, real quick?
So far, I've been halfway through. I'll give it a solid. I mean, of 5, I'd say 3.5. I'm enjoying it. And like I said, it's continued to grab my interest, and and for me that shows whenever I binge something, because I am somebody that I'm not always a huge binger. I'll see an episode and I'll go, all right, let me give it a little bit before I get to the next one. But this is a series that I like this concept, and I kind of want to see where they go with it. So far it's holding me.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. Okay.
But you can also go watch, if you're going to stay on Netflix. I don't know if I've recommended before on the air. I don't know. Sex Education. If you haven't seen that with Asa Butler and Butterfield. I'm sorry. I don't know why I want to just cut him Butler, but Asa Butterfield and Gillian Anderson is also who plays his mom
from the X-Files. Plays his mom. I just saw the pilot. It's a fun pilot.
It's a fabulous series.
It's a bit raunchy. It almost reminds me of the real life version of Big Mouth. Like they go some places.
But it's a great film. Great episodes all the way. They just got renewed for season 2.
That was part of the news segments. Now I don't have to go over it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just excited.
That was basically it. Just that Sex Education. If you did see it on Netflix, there will be a season 2 coming.
And it's well worth it. So if you want to hold, you can wait. But it's only 8 episodes. Dairy,
is that an 8 one?
Yeah,
too?
it's an 8, but they're hour long, so that's nice. And Dairy Girls is another good one as well. If you want to take.
What
a
is
look
that?
At.
I don't even know what that is.
Dairy Girls is set in mid 80s. Northern Ireland, and it's about four girls who are friends, along with a guy who happens to be. His story is a little odd. He's the only boy in an all-girl Catholic school, and the reason is because they think he's too soft to be in the all-boys Catholic school. so he gets inducted into this, and so what happens is he gets there and he's like, "Where do I use the restroom?" And the nun goes, "I have no time to talk to you about this," like that. And she just leaves. And he goes, "Can I use that bathroom?" He goes, "No, that's the women's room. You can't go in there." And he's like, "But I got to use the restroom." So the whole episode, he's trying to use the facilities and he can't because no one wants him to use them because he's the guy. And it's just a fun little thing. And they talk about the old days of the Orangemen in for Northern Ireland, where they had the issue, the Protestants and the Catholics in the warring they used to have. Still there probably, but it's not as bad, where they used to do the Orange Parade. And so the Catholics leave town. It's like a mass exodus of Catholics leaving town because they don't want to be lynched or beaten during that period.
How many snowflakes would you give
the Dairy Girls?
Yeah.
I you know what? I'm 4.5. It makes me laugh. The Sex Education 4. I can almost be 5. Because I know I don't give away a lot of these things that often, but those shows made me excited to watch, and I enjoyed every. So I think I killed Jordan over there, but yeah. So that's about it. Anything you've seen recently, Mr. Rob?
Joaquin Phoenix. Don't worry, he won't get far on foot.
That is a great movie.
I loved it.
Me and him saw that in theaters.
I think we were the only 6 or so that were in that theater that night.
Yeah, not in a small theater. Kind of got it overlooked as well, and you could even argue to the degree, maybe a little snubbed for any kind of awards love. Yeah. I thought Jonah Hill was fantastic in it.
Yeah,
I did also.
And Phoenix as always, good performance, and
I got lost in his role.
Yeah, you forget who he. You forgot that he really could walk, and that he really could walk in real life. You just forgot all about that. He played it so great. So there's a handful of films that are coming out this weekend. I mean, really good movies that are potential good movies anyway. We got number 1 on the list is Lego 2, the second part. We also got What Men Want. Is
that this week? Okay.
Yeah, and we got The Prodigy, a horror film. Okay. If you like to go that genre,
you love them.
And the one movie that's making a lot of news, we'll talk about that right now because we're gonna blend the subjects together. Cold Pursuit with Liam Neeson. Now, Liam's in a little bit of a hot water trouble today.
I admit it because I do this podcast with you, but I was unaware. So break it down for me, guys. What the heck's happening with taking Liam Neeson?
Well, unfortunately, to me it seems Liam is now doing a mea culpa tour, as well as going around and talking about Cold Pursuit. But he came out and said about 40 years ago, his one of his lady friends that he knew, I believe it was about 40 or so years ago, was raped. And he was very upset about that. And it was a African American who did it. And he said at that time he wanted revenge on anybody he could find. And what he was looking for was an African American to take it out on because he was just upset. And I think he mad at, who knows? I don't know. I don't want to put words in his mouth about what else, because you can watch these on America. He was on Good Morning America.
How far did he take it?
He never acted on it. He never, because he couldn't find anybody.
So he actually drove around.
He walked around the streets, I believe, looking, and he couldn't find anybody. But he was just enraged by what happened, right. And he had to come out and say, "Look, I'm not racist. I was just upset at the time."
A small part of me wants this to be a movie.
Yeah, so
let's make this a movie. This sounds like a vigilante,
yeah,
and with a good dramatic twist on it.
Yeah, and I think it's just, to me, It was just amazing, all the backlash now that's taken place. You have, a movie that would have just probably sunk out and not had anybody looking at it. Now everyone's watching. I'm more interested in it now because I was always interested in it. It's a Liam Neeson film. So, here he is now having to do mea culpas about saying he's not racist anymore, and people are now, crying, well, we need to delete him from the new Mission Impossible International film. We need to whitewash him out of it. And I'm like, no, you can't keep doing that. As we all talked about, we'll talk about it now if you want, because we have a little bit of time on the podcast left. In regards to, what we're doing is that it's a slippery slope anymore in this world. You don't know where we're going. How are you going to be able to dictate what we're going to be doing in the future with, say, what I say now or what you say tomorrow or the day you said like 10 years ago? It's just an amazing, it's a scary time. In which everyone wants it's more or less what he was looking for. He was looking for street justice 40 years ago or more in regards to this action that took place against his friend. Now people are wanting street justice now, but in more of a social media platform, in which to me, is really a bad thing.
You said this was 40 years ago.
This is 40 plus years ago that he just came out with it the other day and in some type of random interview. I'm not sure how it precipitate, it came out, but he just brought it out one day and talking about a rage at the time, because he was talking about how his son in this film is, gets in with the wrong, drug deals and whatnot, and he gets killed that way. So I think, he was trying to say, look, everyone feels that rage on occasion and they want to act on it. But, here's an example of when I wanted to and I never did, even though I did purposely go out and try to do this. I'm not defending the man. I don't know the man, but you can see that he is truly saying, he's happy he never did that and he's not a racist. And I'm going to go with his word on that because there's nothing in his past that tells me otherwise. But again, people want their pound of flesh for an action that somebody did 40 years ago that is still an inaction because it never took place.
Well, are they saying it's racist?
Oh, they're calling him a racist. They're out there, wanting just to be penalized, and I don't think you should be doing that now. There's a lot of things. And I think people will just forget about it after a while. But it's like. I'll give you Louis C.K. Doing 6 shows up in Tampa. Okay, actually I tried to get sold out. My cousin was trying to get us tickets, and they sold out every show. And so 6 shows, all shows sold out. There's people who like him still, and and they've moved on, or they've moved on. They've forgiven him because he's mea culpa'd himself. But how long should a man or should a woman pay for whatever actions they have? And I think right now we're seeing this as a Hollywood issue, or where people don't seem, no matter how much contrition they show. Kevin Hart is your example as well earlier. What are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to act? Should we not take forgiveness as face value anymore, or should we just, because how can you grow as a human being?
That's my main thing, man. I mean, like, we've said, I think, either to personally or even on this podcast, like, I'm different than some stuff I've grown from the last 10 years. That's why I double checked with you before. 40 years, man. Can you truly, like, blame this guy for how he felt in that moment at the time when a tragedy happened to him? Like, you also don't necessarily think straight in those times, man. Like, no. And it was a different time 40 years ago. So yeah, I definitely truly believe in my heart. Mentioned we can bring up James Gunn and his tweet from years ago and whatnot.
Over a decade, yeah.
People change, hearts change, and the fact that, and also too, I would argue Liam Neeson's not a dumb guy. The fact that he brought this up is him showing, like, hey, I thought about this crazy nuts thing that would have completely changed my life. Yeah. At one point in my life, like, it was a thought that ran through my head. So the fact that he brought it up is him showing, like, hey, I don't think that way anymore. Because I don't think he's an idiot that would go, oh, let me say this because I want people to know I'm racist. Like, no, let me say this to show you what kind of nuts thoughts that ran through my mind at one point.
Yeah, and you know, I don't like you know, Ryan was telling, you know, where do we stop? I mean, the public lynching is more is out there now. I mean, literally everyone has an opinion. Yeah, we have our opinions and we'll say them, but who's going to say hold our feet to the fire because they don't like our opinion? How are they going to hold that against us? You know, and you know, right now they're probably saying, "Oh, look at him. He's, you know, Dutch is a sympathizer to Liam Neeson, the racist." You know, and you're like, "No, I'm not. I'm just saying I don't know the man. I am going to take his word for it because there's nothing in the past that shows me that he was or has ever had a racist bone in his body." So
I think the future is going to look back on this time frame, and they're going to have to let something go.
yeah.
So that's just me. I think that, you know, something like that will happen or whatever. We're just at that moment now when they're holding everybody's feet to the coals, including in politics. I mean, everywhere I go, they're like pulling back old videos and all of this. Like, it's allowed to grow or something.
Yeah, you know, and how are you, like Kevin Hart said, how are you supposed to grow if you keep tossing my past in my face? You know, if you can't see where I'm at now.
Yeah.
What's the, you know, where your lines are? You know, it's like Ellen DeGeneres said to Kevin Hart, "I want to see you host the show. I want to see you host the Academy Awards." And then all of a sudden they started backlashing on her, and I'm like, what? You know, this is a woman who's gone through a lot more discrimination. You know, they're both on the same levels of discriminations as well. You know, him, you know, for, you know, his backgrounds, her for her backgrounds, you know, for, you know, who they are in society, you know, how they looked at people back in the, you know, when she came out, you know, people didn't respond very well to her. You know, I kept watching the damn show and, you know, until, you know, they took it off the air because their sponsors didn't want them, you know, and so, you know, you're like, you know, if Ellen is endorsing somebody, it's almost like Oprah endorsing somebody. It's a good thing, right? Those are the two people you want to listen to, Oprah and Ellen. Well, you know what? I figured it out. The Academy Awards, Oprah and Ellen. Boom, right there. The Oprah Ellen. No?
I like the year Ellen.
I'd be fine with Ellen. I think she's... Yeah.
But Oprah should do both. I mean, if both of them get to co-host together, I think that'd be a great tandem.
How about this? We do the old David Letterman joke, and we have Oprah and Uma. No. Uma, Oprah.
Yeah, that was a disaster of a movie, film thing.
Of a joke,
whatever the hell that was. I don't know. It was like a 4-hour film, so they just kept going. So,
but there is a bias because you like Liam Neeson.
Yeah, well, yeah, I do like Liam. I will be watching his film. I cannot wait, and I watch anything with Liam Neeson in it. Same with Gerard Butler, Jason Statham, Tyler Perry. Who is that one guy we don't watch? Oh, Ben Affleck. No, I watch Ben Affleck. I'm not against him. I just do it.
Chris Jericho just not against.
Yeah, against. I'm never.
Ben Affleck and Adam Levine took off their shirt and showed off their tattoos in the middle of the Super Bowl. Who would win?
The world.
Get 5 snowflakes.
Armageddon would just come because the world can never get better. So the world would just end.
You know. Speaking of that, though,
God would be like, "Well, that's all I can do."
That's the.
Yeah, you know, I didn't realize Adam Levine had like a whole body under, you know, of tattoos. I didn't think it was like a shirt of tattoos underneath his shirt. I did not know that until I saw it.
You guys are more football guys than I am. What's your opinion? Did you like the Super Bowl halftime?
I was watching Les Mis at the Phil with my girlfriend.
How was that?
Wow,
fantastic!
That's what I heard. I heard it was beautiful.
It was great. Yeah, it was better than the.
I dreamed a dream that I was living.
Yeah. I only watched 3 minutes of the Super Bowl. That was the end.
We got Mission Impossible 7 and 8 will be coming out 2021 and 2022.
Oh yeah, back to back.
I think they kind of want to rush these things because let's face it, Tom Cruise, even though he looks like he's running like he's 20, he's getting older. I think that's kind of the idea here. Is like,
he's not.
He's starting to break. He's starting to break down. His body's breaking down.
And I do believe McQuarrie is returning, which. I like because the director, Christopher McQuarrie.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes.
Because they were switching for a while. Like, the first one's different from the second one, different
J.J.
from the third
Abrams
director.
was
only... But, I mean, these last two have been great. I think we all agree this last one was freaking awesome. So
yes.
I'm not too mad at that.
Hold on. Is Vin Rames going to be in any of these two?
I haven't read, but I would imagine.
I want a fuller...
I would imagine they're all back.
Can we bring a lot more of Vin Rames in instead of like, the one time, Ethan... That's all we get from him. The whole time he goes, hey,
No, he was in this
Ethan,
last one. He was in this last one a
don't
bit.
shoot me,
There's
Ethan.
one of them where he's only in like for a minute, like the fourth one maybe.
Yeah, don't shoot me, Ethan. That's all he ever says, you know. And
Aaron
I'm like,
Sorkin's second directorial debut is starting to kick off. Trial of the Chicago 7, very famous trial.
Yeah.
Check out this cast. You got Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Sacha Baron Cohen, Seth Rogen, and Eddie Redmayne, amongst others, are going to be in this movie.
that sounds good.
That seems like a really cool cast, and this is a really interesting. There's a documentary about this. There's even kind of like a half animated movie about this too. Denis Villeneuve from Arrival and The Last Blade Runner doing a Dune movie. Any interest in the?
I'm interested.
Dune?
I loved the movie Dune when I was a kid. It wasn't, it was bad. If you watch it now, the effects don't hold up.
Yeah.
But because it was all screen and then
Is that
a little
Sting's
bit of
only movie?
Yeah, I believe. Well, it's not his only one. But I think that was his
Did he do
big. I think he's done other movies, but that
I
was.
know he was in B movie.
Well, he
for a
was
minute.
in that other one with the magician movie, was it not? Sting, or was that David Bowie?
David Bowie,
Oh,
baby.
I get confused sometimes. But no, Sting was in another movie later on, but he was also in that. But yeah, it was.
Sting was in Dune, The Emperor, Cold Mountain,
There you go.
Moulin
Cold
Rouge,
Mountain. There you go.
Mystery Science.
Yeah, so there you go. There.
He was in them. Like,
Yes.
as a character.
Yeah, he was in Cold Mountain. I do now remember that.
Was he?
Yeah.
Mountain, yeah, Moulin
Oh,
Rouge.
okay. See, I didn't know. I always thought he was only in Dune.
But Dune is a good film. I can't. The cast is shaping up pretty nicely over there as well.
I've got it right here, baby. Javier Bardem, Oscar Isaac, Timothy Chalamet, Zendaya,
Yeah.
Stellan Skarsgård, Rebecca Ferguson, and our boy Drax the Destroyer, Dave Bautista, is currently scheduled for this.
Absolutely. Hold on. Did Gerard Butler get cast in this?
He is not on my list currently. So sorry, James.
Liam Neeson or Jason Statham?
No, but we should do a movie called The Exiles with Liam Neeson. Poor Bob Hoskins will not be returning for Super Mario Brothers, the animated movie.
No, you know what?
Coming
That's
out 2022.
that, sir, is low. Bob Hoskins not returning.
Sorry.
He's been dead for a while.
I know. That's
That
why
hurts my feelings.
He won't be in the movie.
I know,
But we're probably getting a Super Mario Brothers sequel or not released.
send all your hate mail at Jordan something.
And anyone fans of any shows on the CW? Any young kids here watch the CW?
What are we talking? Oh yeah, all the superhero shows have been renewed.
Pretty much everything's been renewed. Arrow season 8, Black Lightning season 3, Charm season 2, Legends of Tomorrow season 5, Dynasty season 3, Legacy season 2, Flash season 6, Riverdale season 4, Supergirl season 5, and Supernatural back for season 15 next year.
Dear
15
God.
years.
Could they keep beating a dead horse?
Dude,
over
people
there?
love that show, and I love the first
You know
few
what?
seasons. I'm
Yeah.
on like season 4,
Look,
so
look.
I've got a bit.
I left around season 6, okay? So I'm not an enabler like everyone else in this world.
Why are you hating? I actually love that. Like,
look,
how many shows make it that long?
I
Nothing.
understand, but how many times can you keep bringing up the devil and the God and the devil and the God
At least
and the
for
devil
15
and the
seasons.
God? It just for 15 seasons, but after
At
a while,
least.
if you bring back Jeffrey Dean Morgan, okay? Let's
He's
bring
been
him.
dead since season 3.
Absolutely, let's resurrect his ass, and I'll watch it then, okay? And have him have a Negan feel.
Yeah, he was the father of the Winchester brothers, of Jared
Absolutely.
Padalecki and Jensen Ackles,
Absolutely.
who came from Days of Our Lives.
and well, don't forget, I think Padalecki, he's the Sam, right? Or yeah, he's
Yes.
or Dean. Which
No.
one? Sam, Dean.
Yes.
Dean is the big
Yes.
one. So
Padalecki's long hair.
yeah, Padalecki is the long hair. He came from Gilmore Girls,
Okay.
and the other one came off of Smallville. That's where he got his launch. Season.
Days of Our Lives.
Well, he got Davis alive, but the reason why he was on the CW's radar is because of Smallville. He gets killed off in I think season.
I'm surprised. Maybe
2 or
just
3.
because they're busy. Like neither one of them has really done much outside of it. Like Eccles was
tried.
in Bloody Valentine.
Yes.
And then Padalecki was in that crappy Jason Voorhees, the last one, Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
So like, other than 2 really like bad B- horror movies, like really D-.
They must be getting some bank. That's all there is
Like
to
yeah,
it.
I mean, and they might, and obviously the TV shows you're busy all year long, but you see, Carell did it and Jim Parsons does it, so I'm surprised.
Well,
More people haven't gotten them. And
we-
they're
we've-
obviously popular. 15 years, and they're the only two that have been in every season.
Look, we've discussed this over and over and over again.
What?
If you get a series, you ride that hog until it dies. I
Jim
understand.
Parsons wants to leave.
Do you not believe that? You ride that series until you just ride it until it says no more, no mas. I would not want my character to be killed off at all. I would.
You just were mad about how this was 15 years.
Well, yes, I'm upset.
Ride until it's dead and overdone.
Well, no, I
baby.
don't blame them for writing till it's dead. I'm saying I would do the same thing, but as a viewer of not watching it anymore after 6 seasons.
Is that why you'd be scared of being on The Walking Dead? Because you're like, I don't want to die.
Yeah, I'd be like, how many episodes am I in? Well, we don't really have an estimate.
I want the paycheck.
Yeah.
That returns Sunday. Anyone Walking Dead fans? Sunday?
I do not watch that show anymore.
No, right? Walking Dead?
My father does.
Me and your father will be on this show next week then.
I don't watch it. I know season 10 is coming up.
Well, it's in the middle of a season already.
I thought it was season 10. Nope.
It might be. I'm just saying it's in the middle of it. If it is, it's in the middle of it already.
You like it? You've seen all seasons.
I've seen every season. I've been with it. It's been a weekly watch for me. It has the problem with it the last couple of seasons that it just seems like it's spinning. It is spinning its wheels. Like that's a show where I'm like, if this had gone off the air like a Breaking Bad 3 years ago, it would go down as one of the greatest shows of all time.
Yeah.
But like for instance, like the main character Rick, not spoilers, but like they've done it. They've gone back and forth where they're like, I can't trust no one. I'm gonna kill everyone. To no, I need a soul and show my son that there's hope. I don't trust no one. I'm gonna kill everyone.
Yeah.
No, we can't kill no stranger. Like they literally have done that. Like back
he's
and
a
forth.
bipolar sheriff.
He turns more than the Big Show on Monday Night Raw. So
yeah.
like there's stuff like
Another
that, and
wrestling
like
term,
like even like the Negan character didn't really live up to its potential, and I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan,
Yeah.
and his intro was fantastic.
Yeah.
But then it just kind of dumbed, and I'm like, oh, we've seen this with the Governor, from season 3 or 4. So. I'm starting to like this season, actually, oddly enough. Like, I'm actually now kind of backtracking on my words. This season, they're introducing some new characters. Rick's not on the show anymore, which is good and bad.
What?
But
I
that was announced. That was that weird thing that AMC announced openly. Like each week they're like 2 more weeks of Rick, 1 more week of Rick.
What's her name's leaving too?
Lauren Cohen already left.
Glenn's wife.
Which is very weird because I talk about another girl. That's,
Her new show looks great though on NBC. She's on ABC, a new show. That's where she left to go to. Along with God, what's his name? Off of what was the name of that show? Felicity. That's the only show I can remember him on. Not Livingston. Oh well. We'll cover that whenever it comes on.
All right, I don't know what you're talking about, but cool.
But
I think she was relatively unhappy too, because what sucks about her character is that her character legit just disappears. Like they come up to an episode, they're like, "Yeah, she took her daughter and went to another town." Like, which is sad because she's
on a fact finding mission for other zombies.
Season 2 or 3 person herself, so we don't have that many people. We have Norman Reedus, I think now is maybe. Him and Carol are the longest reigning cast members.
Yeah, and I think they'll. We'll see. Daryl, how long will he be able to hold it? I don't know.
Daryl, I would actually be the most surprised unless it was his decision. And I think he's someone that feels like he's kind of happy and willing to ride the hog.
Yeah.
I don't see them killing him. I think the show will end before he leaves or dies.
Yeah.
It's up to at least them.
I think he got another 5 more seasons. Supposedly,
he is somebody where there are legit like T-shirts of if you kill Daryl, rewrite.
I think it's 15 seasons they signed up for. So they got another 5 more.
They got at least 5 more of him signed in.
At least they're kind of light with the numbers of how many episodes they have.
You heard what they're doing with Rick, right? Because it was announced.
Well, they don't know what they're doing with Rick. They could bring him back later if they need to for a movie.
How about you stop guessing and I tell you?
No, you asked me a question. Did he not ask me a question?
No, but then you're like, they don't know. Like you're acting like they don't know.
Then I said, okay, let me do a second guess. Someone else did. So what are they doing with Rick?
No, it was announced.
Hold him off in a trailer.
Huh?
Or they hold him in a trailer hostage?
Anywho. No, they're doing made-for-TV movies. So basically, his character's alive. He's elsewhere. And we will see Rick Grimes back. They say supposedly he will not be back on this exact main show, but you will see Rick Grimes
on a very special Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead, the Rick Files or something like that.
Yeah, so
which is very perplexing because the whole last episode is all about family. But his daughter's still on the main show, so I don't know. It's very perplexing the way you think about it. I'm very interested in seeing how they make this make sense without him being like, "Oh, my family's over there. I gotta leave."
Yeah. Well, what we're gonna do? We're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna talk. What's gonna be on the next episode?
I believe we're doing top 5 comedies. We're gonna talk about
top 5 comedies.
Ryan, I know you love some comedies, man. You got to come up with your top 5 of all time.
We're also
gotta do it.
We're also gonna have some reviews. We're gonna have Lego Movie 2 review along with Cold Pursuit.
We'll probably all see both of them, if not most of them.
Also, Ryan and I will actually have a review of the Well Penny's new album, Murmurations. And because one of us doesn't want to listen to it, Mr. Jordan.
What kind of music is it again?
It's like a folksy pop. It's a folksy pop.
I might Spotify it then.
Yeah, you can Spotify. It's a good feel an album. And also we're also going to be pulling the year for Deja Vu. So hopefully we get a good year, a good month,
we should do
which is February.
We should do that now.
Well, you want me to do it now?
Because I'm just saying, I would rather have 2 weeks to watch it than 1 week to watch it.
Okay, fine.
Know what I'm saying?
Oh, there you go. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay. I just was trying to make it like a one movie a month type deal.
Oh, and I agree, but I'm saying let me at least know now what you want me to watch for February.
Okay, hold on here. Random number generator here.
That's what I'm saying. Instead of giving me 1 week to watch it, let me give me 2 weeks to watch it.
Okay, here we go. Let's pull this up here.
And then we can just discuss,
We'll go 15.
You like horror movies?
Yeah,
I do.
Also.
I didn't realize a lot of people don't like horror movies.
It's not everyone's cup of tea, man. I'm sure we've talked about it. But yeah, I didn't know Dutch was that against it. Like, Hereditary is a really good one. I would go out of my way to see Hereditary.
That was a good one.
That was a really good one. That's why some people thought Toni Collette should have been nominated, because it's just a really harrowing performance of her.
What did we agree for a number?
Happening.
Was it 60 years back?
No, it was shorter than that.
So Hereditary is a good. What's an
50
all-time classic? Some of your classic
for horror. Yeah. I'm a '90s kid, so I love the screams. I thought the first Scream is fantastic. It's a good call on the other horrors. Yeah. The first Halloween.
We're actually flashing back a little farther back than I thought we'd go, but we're gonna flash back. It's gonna be tough, people. So let me regenerate the number here, because I don't like to go that far back.
Well, then don't do 50 years.
Well, we should do about we'll go 40 years, and that'll put us in the 80s at least. So let's see here. We're random. Oh, there we go. We got.
According to Wikipedia.
Oh yeah. According
to. What about last year? Give me a good horror film of last year.
Hereditary.
What is it? Hereditary.
Hereditary.
Anything else? What about Babadook or whatever? Did you watch?
Yes. Babadook's pretty good.
Yeah.
Lower budget,
kids.
very very creepy.
Somehow we're still not getting out of the 2000s. I put 10 years minimum, maximum 40 years, and the generator came up with 18, which is 2001 February films.
Okay.
So come back next week with your homework.
Okay, hold on for a second. So what are we doing here? What year?
2001.
2001.
Jesus.
Space Odyssey.
Can we not get out of the 2000s, people? That's why I wanted to bump it up to 15, but the first random generator was 1967. So you guys didn't want to go that far back just yet.
What month in 2001?
February.
Okay.
February in 2001. That shouldn't be too difficult, should it? Because February is usually a place where people go to watch dead movies.
So I gotta watch. Okay.
So
any more horror movies besides Hereditary that you could think of recently in the last?
When we get off the air, I'll look it up.
Yeah. So
let's wrap this up.
Again, so we'll have the top 5 comedies. We'll have the Legos and the Cold Pursuit review. We're gonna have the Well Pennies Murmurations review. Me and Rye. And also maybe Jordan will join us. And we're also going to come up with a film, 2001 February film from our random Deja Vu. So
Deja Vu.
What? You missed it. You missed your music key.
Okay, say it again. Come on, let's do it live, baby. Fuck it, we're live.
Deja.
No, just say it normal, James.
Oh, Deja Vu.
Deja Vu.
Well, anyway, my name is Dutch McAllister. That is Mr.
JPO, Jordan Pierce Owens. We're so thankful for letting us on your... Oh, okay, I wasn't doing it.
Yeah. You're just stepping on everyone's names.
I didn't mean to step over your name.
No, that man has like 15 different plugs he wants to do.
Thank you for letting us in your living room for a show about shows. We love you more than you'll ever know. Bizzle, let him out.
So play us out, buddy.
All right. It was a great show. I had a great time.
Woohoo!
We're sending out the love.
The
I
vi-
give this show 5 snowflakes this week.
I give it
so-
5.5, which isn't even possible.
And I'll give it 2.5 just because it didn't have enough me. Anyway,
What are you talking about?
too much Ballard.
I'll see you all later, everybody. Goodbye.
Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful.